That's the word being used up and down Royal Parade in Carlton. Reset the players. Reset the coaches. Reset the whole thing. And while they didn't get the 4 points, they turned reset into respect.
I reckon if you stop the match now, Brendan Bolton might get the 3 votes.
Brendan Bolton's men have a new mountain to climb today. In the shock of the round, Sydney was ruthless, brutal, clinical.
The short pass was brilliant from Buddy to Parker.
They were Buddy brilliant.
And the Sydney Swans run on to Etihad Stadium, a happy hunting ground it has been for them in recent times as well. They've got a very good record here, the Sydney Swans. They've won their last 8 matches here at Etihad and average 118 points, so they like playing here. Similar dimensions, I suppose, to the SCG, where they absolutely they've turned into a citadel. Certainly last week when they belted Collingwood, Sydney Swans looking magnificent. So let's go down to David King with his old teammate, the coach of Sydney, John Longmire.
Thanks for your time. Carlton are a different outfit this year from what we've seen the last couple of seasons. They pose different challenges. What worries you the most?
Oh, you know, certainly their styles changed a bit. You know, look at the way they play, but they've still got a fantastic group of players. I mean, you look at their core group, Cruiser and Gibbs and Murphy and these guys, Simpson, they've got some real quality there as well.
The use of Franklin always fascinates us. You're saying again this week, good time inside forward 50, roaming high as well?
Yeah, look, he's got a bit of a licence to do it as he thinks right at that particular time. If we don't like it, we'll change it.
Good luck, mate. Go get it.
Thanks, King.
And here come the Navy Blues. As we mentioned, one change. Walker is out with a calf problem. Rowe, one of the emergencies named this week, gets another opportunity in defence for the Blues. Big day for this man and his family. Zach Toohey, what a credit he is to his country, playing his 100th game. As Sarah said earlier, just the 5th player in the AFL from that country to achieve that feat, 100 games.
Not a bad 5 either. Jimmy Stones, Ty Kenley, of course, Shawnee Wright and Pierce Hanley from Brisbane. So some pretty good players there. And he also becomes only the second at number 42 at Carlton to play 100 games. The other bloke was reasonably handy too.
Walls.
Walls. He could go just a bit. So Robert Walls, the famous number 42 at Carlton. So a big day coming up.
Don't say that, because every time we see number 42 today, we'll think of Robert Walls.
All right, let's get into the lineup here, gents. And Charlie Curnow comes in for his first game in Carlton colour, so good luck to him as well. Congratulations to Zach Toohey, 100 games. Kerridge and Wright, the 2 players from the Adelaide Crows, really set the tone last week. And the leaders for Carlton, Jared, they need to stand up again.
They do, because they're up against a formidable combination. Ted Richards back in the side. What a stalwart he's been for the Sydney Swans. Michael Talia going out. But the story last week was all the new faces. Mills, the forward pocket plumber known as Papley, George Hewitt, and of course Callum Sinclair from the West Coast Eagles was quite impressive on debut. It's a powerful outfit, but when you look at their midfield and the combination of them and Buddy Franklin, it's a very stiff challenge for the Blues.
It's interesting though, Jared, it's a different Sydney, isn't it? If you compare this side to last year, you are in fact taking out almost 1,000 games experience, 984 to be precise.
That's true, they've lost some, but you get re-energised when youngsters come in. Kurt Tippett was excellent last week in the ruck. He did kick-start the domination of the Pies. John Longmire, though, he'll be just hoping for more of the same. He'll be thrilled that they've got Luke Parker back in the side, both Luke Parker and Buddy Franklin missing from their finals campaign. That was only a kick away from having a major win against the Dockers.
And John, nice to see Daisy Thomas. He's had a horrific run. Good to see him back.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully he becomes quite successful in this game, able to break the lines a little bit and pump the ball inside 50. We spoke about his kicking. I think he needs to control his kicks over 25, 30 metres, what we're seeing there now. That's the kick he needs to get right on a regular basis, because when he does, it normally turns into something pretty offensive for the Blues, and the leaders need to stand up again. Murphy, Gibbs, Simpson, they're the 3 that set the tone last week. They need to do it again.
Just 6 minutes away from the opening bounce. A big game for both sides. Sydney, as Eddie said, a very impressive record here at Etihad, unbeaten in their last 8 visits. Carlton, though, will provide a mighty challenge this afternoon. We'll be back with all the action right after this break.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. The final warm-ups now in place. You can hear the siren going in the background saying, all right, let's get the captains in for the toss of the coin, and we'll get stuck into what promises to be a really good afternoon of football. Carlton, as we said earlier in the build-up, got respect back last week. No doubt about that in their game against Richmond. Today they come up against a team that has shown that they are ruthless so far in 2016. They were unbelievable last week. They dominated the game. I haven't seen a team dominate another decent team in Collingwood as much. They got the ball. Collingwood just couldn't get it. They just got it out of the centre and completely dominated the flow of play.
Well, Sydney, they're not a side that mentally relaxes either, so you think they'll be tuned in and ready to rock and roll from the start of the game. For Carlton, it's about backing it up. We saw Melbourne not able to back it up this week against the Bombers. They get beaten. So you'd want to see Carlton mentally attuned again to their setup for today's game.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Blues. We saw them, these two very sides, a couple of weeks ago in the final NAB Challenge, and the Blues were mighty impressive. We know they were excellent at the MCG last week without getting the 4 points, but this is a side that cannot be taken lightly. They have greatly improved in their system and their intensity under the new coach.
So Zach Tui playing his 100th game in the green boots of Ireland. The toss of the coin up against Kieran Jack. And there you go, first win of the Blues. And they'll be kicking to the Coventry end today. So great to see a bloke from Ireland and a bloke from a great rugby league background tossing the coins for the respective sides today. Let's go down to David King, boundary side. David.
Thanks, Ed. Well, we must note there is one late change. Andrew Walker out with some calf tightness late in the week, and Sam Rowe is taking his place. When we look at how the Carlton team are actually playing now, there's been wholesale changes with their ball movement, and specifically when they're not in possession, when the opposition has the ball, their ability to win it back. You can see the radical change here. Last year, ranked last in the competition, only cutting off the opposition's rebound 50s 17 times. This year, it's almost twice that, or more than twice that. 36 times they're intercepting that ball and locking it in their forward half, giving them more opportunity to score and more inside 50 supply. I want to have a close look at this centre bounce matchup in here today. Two big beasts, two big clearance players. The number one clearance player since 2008, Josh Kennedy. He's up against the heir apparent, the young Carlton midfield star, Patrick Cripps. He's a big boy, 195 centimetres, and last week he was enormous with 10 clearances, pure clearances. This will dictate the result today. If Carlton can compete at the clearances, then they're in this game. If Sydney do what they did last week, this could get quite ugly on the scoreboard.
Thank you, Kingy. David King, dual premiership player from Arden Street. So we're set to go. Carlton gallant last week, eventually going down by just 9 points.
Andrew Walker is a big omission. Goal kicking is their issue. They've brought in young Curnow. Let's hope he can hit the board.
So Humphrey Cruiser in the middle for the Blues, up against Tippett. And there's the opening bounce. It wasn't a good one, and we'll see it recalled. So a somewhat anticlimactic start.
A little bit. Patrick Cripps got his hands on it, nearly touched. Gone begging.
Well, he's taller than most ruckmen over the last 30 years.
He didn't get it on this occasion, however, though. Gibbs had it just for a moment. Parker was busy. He had 40 possessions last week. Be interesting to see what he can do tonight. So they go down towards Buddy Franklin, who's got to chase hard. Jamison was on his hammer. Couldn't take it cleanly. Picked up by Papley. Goes in towards the forward pocket region. Rowe is there, taken over the line. And we have got a throw-in the left forward pocket.
Well, he's like a bloodhound, is Papley. He just gets the scent of that football, and he swooped on it.
Sinclair starting as a forward. Tippett in the ruck early. He's sitting back now, Tippett, to stop the outlet from Carlton.
Cruiser, Kennedy, Simpson, no one clean. Papley again, taken to ground by Cripps.
Sorry.
Ball spilled free. Heaney for a moment, but only for a moment. He gets locked up by Cruiser. And we've got a stoppage. 15 out from Sydney's scoring zone.
There's a big scare on Isaac Heaney in the early NAB challenge. Looked as if he'd hurt a knee with some tendonitis, but so far so good.
And Kennedy gets the ball, and Kennedy and Cripps going head-to-head at the moment, which is something we can really look forward to watching through the course of this afternoon. So good tackle there by Daisy Thomas. Throw in the left forward pocket for the Sydney Swans. Up goes Big Tippett, knocks it down. As Curnow gets the kick for Carlton, clears the 50. Grundy gets underneath it. Now, the Blues are away. They've got a chance to run hard. It comes out to Murphy. No one up ahead, so he has to put the brakes on and come backwards to Kerridge. Kerridge just sits and waits. Now he's got a lead up forward and a mark, and that's what they needed early. And great play there by Carlton. particularly Murphy, just put the brakes on. Casbolt, let's hope he's gone to work on Jared Healy's kicking clinic before the match here, because this is such a key for the Carlton side. Get the first foray forward, take the mark and kick the goal. It's all up to this man, Levi Casbolt.
Well, he'd be absolutely sick of people analysing his goal kicking.
It hasn't stopped you, though, has it, Jared?
No, it hasn't, but he's got an unusual ball strike, but it's under the roof. He gets a major chance to correct it.
He comes in, his kick is on its way. He has gone to Jared Healy's school and delivered the first goal of the game to the Blues.
What I liked, Jared, was, yes, the kick was good, but it was his work to get into the position that he was to have that opportunity at his shot at goal. He was able to work extremely hard. Look, they had to hold it up a little bit, but there he is there, the back corner of the square, working through now. You can just see him past the goalpost. Murphy holds it up, Kerridge holds it up as well, but that's pure ability to run and get to a position now to take a mark, and he was able to burn Grundy off to take that opportunity.
It's all about dropping the ball straight, doesn't matter how you do it.
A confidence-boosting start for Levi Casbolt and Carlton.
And a little bit of frustration was just let go there by Levi. Good on him.
Tippett again with Cruiser. The latter winning it. Carlton winning it out of the middle at the moment, but it's early days. Well, a couple of players lost sight of that ball on that occasion. Cruiser follows it up. He gets taken to ground. Door opens for a moment for Doherty in his 50th game. Now an opportunity for Jack. Always busy. Here's Laidler. Over centre wing, up towards Patley. He gave a nudge.
Yeah, no, good to see.
Sorry, Tommy.
It's early days, Sandy, but what is very evident is that the Blues are up and about. Now, the Swans would only have to look at every other match that's gone before them to know that there's big challenges each and every week, and the Blues are firing early.
Simpson to Gibbs to right, in towards the pocket. Here's Buckhurst. He's in trouble. First one way, then the other. Eventually gives it away quickly to Kerridge. He's under the pump, so to Buckhurst again. Gang tackle and taken to ground.
Well, they squeezed them, Jono, didn't they? They had 1-on-1 and then 2-on-2, and finally they just pressured them into a stoppage.
Good fast break football by Carlton. They've scored a goal and had an opportunity on that occasion. Ball up on the forward 50. Cruiser was in there. Parker for the Swans. Umpires picked one out. It's going to go the Swans' way. Kennedy was dragged to the ground by Daisy Thomas. In fact, I think it was Ed Kerner who threw him to the ground. Standing the mark now. Jack, the spearing kick. Up the line to Mills. Playing only his second game. A couple of behinds last week. That kick is a beauty. That opens things right up. And away goes Lloyd. Jake Lloyd looks up, kicks long up to Cunningham. Up he goes. Cunningham almost takes the mark. Punched away by Zach Toohey. It's Toohey's day. And he does it beautifully. Back to Simpson in the back pocket.
Well, it's a great ball movement. It was a goal coming until Zach Toohey affected a brilliant spoil. See, that's a
poor kick. Buddy intercepts, gives the hand pass away. Parker shoots for goal, but he misses to the left.
Got a 1-with-1 there, Jono.
Oh, big time. They were very lucky there. Dangerous kick to come back into that. Look, it was on, but the kick was poor.
When you shank one and you look up and see it's going to Buddy Franklin and Parker.
You live in hope that the result happened that did.
Here's Doherty. That's better to Murphy.
That's it there. Stay
just
behind,
outside
Bryce.
the back pocket.
Move it on. Play
Had a
on.
good start to the season, Mark Murphy. He'll be desperate for that to continue as he finds Wiedering. Thinks about Gibbs. Still thinking about Gibbs and eventually giving it to Gibbs.
I don't mind. If you go slow, you go forward to go slow, not just chip it back and get squeezed right in defensively, then go long anyway out of there and allow the opposition to set up. If you can keep going slow but go forward, it works a lot better for you.
Gibbs down the line to centre wing. Phillips was a big fly, crashed the pack and forces it over the line. Kingy, what have you got for us?
When you're 195 centimetres, you can push yourself to full forward. Patrick Cripps has done that, and he's a big man down there. Awkward matchup for Dane Rampy.
Yep, Rampy's gone down onto him right now, as Kingy mentioned. Tippett. Hanbury gets the handball working. Great stuff. Hewitt. Kick forward. Coming out to take the mark is Rowe, who came into the side for Walker, who's out injured with a calf injury. Simpson kicks out wide. Good kick. And the mark's been taken there by Everett. Everett looks up. Hard running by the Blues. Graham did very well. Out comes Cripps. Tries to break the tackle. Gets the handball going to White. White now kicks up the line over the head of Kerridge. And the ball stays in play. Did well there. So Jones for Sydney kicks up the line, but getting back to take the mark is White.
Plays on quickly. Goes deep inside the attacking 50 again. Casbolt from the side. Couldn't complete the mark and is going to get a free kick.
And what he's done too, he's taken 2 Sydney opponents out while going for that, competing for that grab. It's actually Kerridge who gets the free kick with a little bit of a nudge in that contest.
Well, this is a fantastic start by the Blues. Only early days. They've only kicked 1 goal, but it's pretty clear they are right in this match, Jono.
28 disposals to 18 so far. Uncontested possession, 19-11. They're running, they're moving.
He's a goal kicker, the former Crow. 23 goals to his name. And kicking from 40 metres, 45-degree angle. What a start this would be for the Navy Blues, and he's got it. Carlton are away with the first 2 on the board.
Well, he missed a couple last week. He would love to have back again, but he's also gone to school on his kicking. And you can see there the push out. It all came because Zach Jones, he looked up, there was nothing else there, and there's the push out. He gets the free kick. Got to be better than that. And a good finish for the Blues to get off to a flyer.
And that's the important part. Put pressure on the scoreboard early.
So the first 2 goals to Carlton to lead by 11 points, dominating possessions as well. 10 marks to 3, as you can see there. So Carlton are hitting the target, which makes all the difference. Big Cruiser goes up again. Tippett got the tap. Mitchell up forward. Beautiful mark by Cunningham. Stuck out one hand, held it beautifully. Now the kick is out wide. Oh, another one. It's like the circus here at the moment. Sinclair.
Well, it's a good centre clearance, but it's all about conversion. Callum Sinclair, it hasn't been his great strength. He's about a 50% return.
He's kicked 18 goals, 20, Gerard, in his 30 matches so far. The 26-year-old, originally from Beau Morris. Port Melbourne, Subiaco, West Coast, of course, have been his teams in recent times.
He's more of a forward ruckman, though, so these are what he's got to make his own.
He comes in right on the 50. That never looked like missing. Right through the middle, and the Swans have got there first.
Well, as is obvious, the roof closed, Jono. No wind impact, and you should be able to kick well here. But there's the centre bounce clearance. It was a 1, 2, 3 punch. Nice mark there, and then a little bit of acrobatic stuff here.
The good thing was Gerald as well, which great mark in the end, a great finish. Well, sat right behind this shot of goal, but he performed the hit out in the middle of the ground and got on his bye, pushed forward after they won that centre clearance.
Great play.
So Callum Sinclair opening the goal scoring for the visitors. Back in the middle. And he's not on the bench. He's contesting the ruck work now after kicking a goal. Things are changing, thankfully. Here he goes again. Sinclair over the top to Kennedy. Inboard towards Mitchell. Mitchell inside 50. Impressive. No one able to take it cleanly. An opportunity there for Hewitt, one of the new youngsters. He couldn't take it. Now the defence of Carlton working hard. Back towards the half-back line. They've got numbers here. They can run it out. Calling for it was Cripps, but he's ignored and he's not happy. Goes down towards the half-forward line where Boghurst is there, and he sees it over the line.
He's a worker, Boghurst, isn't he?
Kingy, it's apparent that as soon as the Blues start running the ball out of the halfway mark, and you can see Cripps calling for this ball here and is ignored, you can just feel the energy in the crowd. They're sensing something.
Yes, it feels like they've got their spreading game going out of clearances, the Blues. They're right in this, Jared. It's a very impressive start.
Robinson involved. An opportunity now for Jack. 35 disposals last week. Not going to add to that for the moment. Inside 50 for the Blues again.
Good
smashed away. They've come to play Carlton today. Locked up is Cripps, and he won't get out of that.
Gone.
And Sydney under intense pressure in defence at the moment to come away.
Well, they still are, and because he was taken, he took his time to give the ball back and get up. They're still able to set up quite effectively. This is the disappoint Bolton, the fact they get a ball out to their Sydney without that ball going out of play with a spoil.
Sinclair stands up the line, calling, hoping, not getting. Ted Richards. What a great player Ted Richards has been for the Sydney Swans. His 254th game of football, having started at Essendon, Xavier College. Been a great player. Great to have him back in the side after missing the opening round. Well, Sinclair stayed out there and he finally got it. Up the line he goes. 2-on-1. Cruiser did well just to get a hand on the ball. Spills. Picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy inside 50 with the tumbling kick.
Wasn't his best kick.
Gets back, yeah.
Interesting role for Tom Papley. He's there to kick goals, but I think he's also there to restrict the work of Cade Simpson.
Yep.
White,
Cunningham and Papley are trying to do the job on him.
Great play. Carlton did well to transfer play from one side of the ground to the other, but they've turned it over now. So the Swans have got the opportunity. Up the line they go. There was only one player on. It was Heaney. He kept it in play, dropped the mark, but had plenty of time to go back and get it. Across to Mitchell. It was a Jack on the left boot. Jack's kick was up inside 50. Off hands. Rowe. Handballs out to White. White just holding it up. Don't want to squander it. They get the kick now. The player ran across and did it really well. That was good play by Wright. Now Carlton have got the chance. Everett. Handballs inside.
They're running hard here, the Blues.
They're away. Graham inside 50 with the kick, and the mark has been taken. Beautiful mark by Boakhorst, and he'll go back from 48 metres out to take his kick.
Yeah, and John Longmire, he can feel it. He knows that this is going to be a much bigger challenge than most people
he's got it
coming in.
His 100th game from 50, just stabbed at the ball. He's kicked it out in the full.
Boakhorst had to give it up. He's coming off the ground now, kicking right in front of you. A heavy limp up.
Looks like he's twisted that left ankle. I'm sure the medical staff will be on that in a moment. The handball game at Carlton is really troubling the Swans on fast counter-attack.
Here's Sinclair again. Brought out initially by Robinson. Now they're away in towards the middle. Parker. First one way, then the other. And Luck's a fortune there. He may get away with it towards Nick Smith. They're still in the middle. Inside 50 now, but no mark taken. Daisy Thomas, the old 1-2, gives it back again and then finds Gibbs. Bryce Gibbs from half-back goes wide towards centre wing. Teddy Richards back this week. Good to see him back. Gives it off to Rampy. Rampy gets another one and away, and Smith goes short to centre wing. That's going to be OK. Hanbury takes the mark.
Well, they've got Kurt Tippett deep and Buddy Franklin. Towers looks like he's the dummy half, if you like, though, popping into the shorter space.
Here's Mitchell kicking up towards full forward, and the big arms of Kirk Tippett go up and take a strong mark.
He's been impressive in the early part of the year, going one of the best players last year. He was excellent in the NAB challenge. He really has set himself, Jono, I think, for a big year, Kurt Tippett.
Yeah, he has to. He has to nail these opportunities. You can see there from that position on the ground, across all grounds, 8 goals too. So this should go straight through.
301 goals so far in his career. And through, but not necessarily straight through. But that doesn't matter. You've only got to put it through, and he has.
It won't matter, Sandy. Next time it comes up, we'll have 9 goals too from there. It doesn't matter how it goes through. But look, they're able to get to a nice overlap here, and in the end, a nice big ball in mismatch identified there with Doherty v Tippett, and he was just too big, too strong, and an excellent contested mark in the end. Great kick in from Mitchell.
So the Swans hit the front. The tick over 9 minutes left in the quarter. 2-1-13 plays 2 goals straight. Been a good game of football so far. Good open running play. Strong marking, good kicking so far. Phillips goes up and does the ruck work for the Blues. They get the first break. Gibbs just waiting. Had a chance. Murphy grabbed. Dropped the ball, did he? No. Mitchell was good, hard at it, straight at the ball. And in the back was the free kick to the Swans. Advantage has been paid. And Cunningham's left foot kick is up to the hot spot. It was a beauty. It was a laser pass. And all Sinclair had to do was put their arms up, and they hit him right on the chest.
It was actually a really good lead from Kellen Sinclair. He looked like he was going to veer to the left, but then he realised that the kick wasn't going to be able to get there, so he brought it back to where the kicker was, and he slammed it on the chest.
Harry Cunningham's kick was an absolute beauty. Kicked a couple last week, Cunningham, but Sinclair comes in now for his second of the day, playing in the ruck and going forward. Gerard Healy says he is that forward, underline the forward ruckman, and his kick's his second.
What I liked about his lead as well, Gerard, he was the second lead, so he really held on his lead. He let someone go first, and he was the next one in once the space opened up as well. I think it's Buddy in front of him there, who ends up coming at Cunningham there, and he just picks the hole in behind And great for Cunningham to identify that as well, rather than just seeing Buddy and hitting him up, especially on his left side. He could have done that easily. Took the harder option, but absolutely nailed it and was able to hit Sinclair up 20 metres out directly in front.
Well, despite Carlton making a very aggressive opening, Sydney pretty quick to steady. They lead by 7 points.
And it's 4-1 in the centre clearances. The last one, Carlton got first possession, but Sydney just bulldozed it forward.
Cripps unable to get that one away. Parker locking him up. Gee, there's some talent in the middle there at the moment. Tippett wins it. Gibbs goes wide. They've got a chance now through Murphy to go up towards the half-forward line. They do, but Richards is out in front and has no trouble defending.
He's just a little bit reactive, Curnow, at the moment. He just needs to try and settle into the contest. Maybe even get a cheap touch on the board so he can get his numbers away and build some confidence as a player.
Here's Buddy in the middle of the ground. They go charging forward again. Rampy's kick goes up towards half-forward. Papley's got to beat a couple here. He ducks head, gets through, goes under a tunnel almost. Now loses it, but he's still got possession through Mitchell. They're mucking around with it. Eventually the kick up towards full forward. No mark is taken. Phillips couldn't take it. Tippett a chance. Tried to get the hand pass away. Murphy towards the boundary line and he's taken over.
Well, they've got a lot of left footers forward to the centre, the Swans. You have to be very wary that they're not going to duck back onto their left foot.
So throw in, right forward pocket for the Sydney Swans. Tippett goes up, gets the tap. It spills down to right for Carlton. He clears the 50 umpires. Found a free kick. It's coming straight back in. So the Swans in the goal square. Plenty of tall timber, plenty of big marks there. Up goes Heaney. Ball hits the deck, doing the roving again. Now that was almost a don't argue. That was almost a fend off. Doesn't matter. Because the snap is offline from Heaney and through for a behind.
Not sure why Luke Parker handballed it to him in the first instance. He had the space.
Doherty to bring it back into play.
We get their flow back, the Blues. It's just been locked in the Swans forward line for 5 minutes.
Now there's holding on there. Appeared to be from both, but it's going the way of Cripps.
Cripps was able to find his way to the front. I think that's what won him the free kick in the end.
Isn't that an amazing advantage they've got, though? Kieran Jack at ground level can equate to Cripps, but they just picked out a one-on-one.
Yep.
He's 6'3" in the hold.
Here's Everett. Scooped up nicely.
That was good from Curnow. His first kick was a beauty.
He looks towards the 50 once again. Plenty of hustling going on at the moment, trying to storm through as the ex-Sydney and GWS player in Lamb up towards Cruiser, but at the back, steadying once again. He's everywhere at the moment.
He is, Sandy, spot on. He's working extremely hard.
Sinclair from the very last line of defence, going towards Buddy. Taken out of it. Good body work. Heaney applies a tackle. The ball spills free towards Cripps. Back to Heaney again. Now to Buddy. They get it going to Jack. And he's away. The little star goes in towards the middle and another star in Lukey Parker. Now the racehorses. Papley up against Simpson. Simpson, Papley, Simpson, Papley. Coming in to assist is White. Gets it back, not out of trouble yet. Eventually they are through Simpson, off to Murphy, and the Blues are away.
I thought Bone Crusher was going to get a run there from him.
So long as it wasn't Simpson Donkey there.
Well done to Simpson. I'm thinking you're in a lot of trouble here, Simpson. I thought Papley was just going to burst past him, but to his credit, senior player dug deep.
Out come the Blues now. Charlie Curnow. Beautiful kick. The transition was great. Cruiser at full forward. He's fallen over. They're waiting for him to stand up again. So he's in the square. He's got the one-on-one in the square. As Everett comes in, he decides to go, looking for Cruiser in the pocket, and got him. He worked hard, the big Cruz.
Now he needs composure, though, because he will get space around to perform the kick. He'll have space here, as you can see, because of the new rule.
And he runs around. Plays on straight away. The kick of the goal from the big Cruz hits the post. The heart rate would have been doing 200 at that stage, I reckon, after all the work he'd done. But played on, couldn't quite get the goal.
That's it,
So a valiant effort by Cruiser. And it's going to be Sydney through Mills and Rampy, who come towards the half-back line. Out of trouble once again to Hanbury. Copped a nasty knock last week, but has recovered well to centre wing and Luke Parker. The boy from Langwarren goes short to Jack. Kieran Jack goes inboard to Heaney. Finds him.
But he just can't find the footy at the present time. He's running into the wrong spaces.
And he's Not going to find it there, but look at little Tom Papley. Unbelievable. Here is this young boy, the grandson of Max Papley, who played 59 games with South Melbourne. And interestingly enough, Bobby Skilton described Papley, Max, as the most naturally gifted player that he ever played with. So he's got some good genes behind him. Throw in the late Jeff Bray, who played with South Melbourne and then went over to West Adelaide. And this is what you've got. Papley misses. You build them up, and it's like ripping down a castle.
So well, like his mark against Wiedering was absolutely sensational. So,
what if they have a DNA test after that one, Sandy?
It's not going to be mentioned again.
The time-honoured tradition. The big pump-up.
Got away with it.
Great play.
He started well, Simpson.
If ever you're going to put anyone under pressure, you'd want it to be Simpson, because he stands up so often in that situation. And a beautiful kick out gets it to White. And they want 50, the Blues. Supporters not getting it. Cruiser leads up, you can see, in the middle of the picture. So Simon White, the West Australian, kicks up the line. Oh, good play, good mark. Casbolt's on today.
He is. He was on last week, bar his kicking as well. And, geez, if he can get that right, he's going to be a super player.
The next one's the big one. They've just kicked it in, bombed it in the last few times. It's come straight back out. Phillips tried to get the mark.
Spot Gibbs.
Gibbs at the fall of the ball was good play.
Right.
Cripps trying to juggle it over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Got to understand, that's the basic. It's the basics that you've got to do well. And a front and square basic ball like Gibbs got then was absolutely perfect. Right spot. You're told to get front and square of it all the time of a big contest, and he worked through there quite effectively.
Big contest, this one for the Blues. They've got it in their forward 50. Need to keep it in here with just under 3 minutes left in this first term. But it's the Swans who cleared. No, umpire says went out of bounds. We'll have a throw in again. About 15, 20 metres around from the behind post in the forward pocket for Carlton.
Dane Rampy, there he is, going over the line.
Oh, yeah. By a mile.
That's your deliberate kick out when you know you're going to step out, but you don't get called for deliberate for doing it.
So inside the last 3 minutes, Crisp tried to take it out of the air. Curnow also straight over the shoulder with a hurried one. Hanbury, sort of a look-away hand pass. Thomas bends it in, and it ricochets off the body of Zach Jones and goes through for one behind.
King, I think that Brendan Bolton would like them to tighten up somewhere in these kickouts. The Swans have been able to find too many holes.
They generally allow the first one wide, Jared.
Mills.
Oh, Mills, yeah.
Gee. Can they get out of it? Hanbury will certainly lend him assistance, and that's what he needs now. Here's Buddy with an opportunity. Got to beat two. Can't. It's fisted away out the back. Rowe will be first to it. He gets a kind bounce. Assistance now from Doherty in game number 50. Inboard to Curnow. Curnow sneaks away from Buddy. Kicks it long up towards the 50. Casbolt again. Thomas was there. Now Phillips. Phillips gets claimed, but he gets his kick in towards full forward. Here they go once again. Around the body. Is that Everett who snaps? No one able to complete the mark. In fact, it was Lamb. And once again, Sydney repelled. But there's been a whistle, and it's going to be downfield.
Yeah, Daisy not happy as well. Lamb with the big U-turn. Daisy was for an easy handball receive on the inside. Should have been an easy goal for the Blues.
Parker to Jack to Buddy.
And away they go. Swans lead up. They've just got the players running down the ground now. Big Towers decides to go short. Mitchell's been busy, always is. Oh, the handball comes into Kennedy. That was far too easy. He got away. You can't let a player of his capabilities just waltz through centre half forward, and Kennedy makes Carlton pay.
Well, Buddy took away all the focus, and then up the middle it was Kennedy, but it's the Carlton runner that's working overtime at this stage.
Sammy Power. Sammy Power played a fair bit of footy with Sammy. He's doing a great job there at the Blues. He's got the camera on, getting around the captain there. Simon White getting a few messages. The midfielders running into him. It's good vision. It's clear vision as well as to the expectations of the runner to get out amongst it all.
13 points the margin now after that goal from the reigning club champion. What a player he has been, Josh Kennedy. Sinclair again. Phillips up a little early. Swans will be first to it in the form of Parker. Kennedy tried to take it, was just a little too wide for him. They may get another opportunity. They do. It's flicked wide towards Mitchell. He gets taken to ground, almost thrown back towards Kennedy. Takes it now, gets a hurried kick. Here comes Buddy. Franklin didn't take the mark. Play on is called. Papley goes in hard, gets the footy out to a teammate. Buddy will get another chance from a standing start. It's a helicopter punt, but it's away to the right and through for one behind. Inside the last minute, and Sydney starting to pour it on. 8 scoring shots to 4.
You've kicked the last 4 goals, Sandy, from the 9-minute mark to the 25-minute mark of this opening term. Sinclair's kicked 2, Tippett and Kennedy, who strolled in for that last goal. Now, Carlton have got to get this out. Doherty kicks up to the wing position. It's good play. Great courage. Wiedering gets the handball going. Now a big chance for the Blues as the ball sits up nicely for Everett. Kicks inside. They need to get one here. They muck it up. Gibbs from a standing start lines up and kicks a big, big goal. Carlton needed that one.
Great spread from defence to go coast to coast and score a goal there, Blues. They built some confidence on the back of that. They took it on. They took Tippett on in the back half. Were able to break free of that, and there was great courage from Wiedering here to just perform the art. He didn't mark it, but kept it going Carlton's way. And then they were able to bring the ball back inside, and in the end, thought they were going to mess it up there for a second, but Gibbs with an excellent one-step kick. And great transition for the Blues. They hadn't had that run for the last 10 minutes of play. They finally got it back right at the end of this quarter to close things up.
What a great reply by Gibbs. There are the leading disposal getters so far, and the midfield dominating, as you would expect. So inside the last 30 seconds, Phillips wins it down. That's going to be a Carlton free kick again. They may get another opportunity here to score. Cripps has got it in the middle of the ground. Wants to go. Plays on quickly towards Tui. He comes wide. A little too wide, I'm afraid. Nick Smith has it. Just handballed blindly. The door opens once again for Kerridge. You got the hand pass back. Here's Wiedering. They can go up towards half forward, and they do. The kick is an absolute beauty. Running wide is right. He's a goal kicker. He booted 3 last week, but time is going to beat them. And on the siren, gee, they missed it by only a couple of seconds. But a very handy goal by Bryce Gibbs keeps Carlton in touch. It's quarter time here at Etihad Stadium. Sydney 4-4-28, leading Carlton 3-2-20. The Swannies up by 8 points. Well, round 2 was full of excitement earlier in the week, and it's continuing this afternoon here at Etihad Stadium. The roof is closed, and it was Carlton away early, but then Sydney pegged them back and went into the first break with an 8-point lead. Callum Sinclair, one of the stars of that first quarter, was in everything. Kicking goals, winning ruck duels out of the middle. And at the moment, as I said, it's an 8-point ball game. Jack, 10 disposals, Wright, 9 for Carlton. Sinclair, the only multiple goal kicker on the ground at the moment. He has 2. Let's go down to David King, because, Kingy, that's the man you want to talk about, Callum Sinclair.
Oh, it certainly is. The Sydney Swans centre bounce work is brilliant again tonight. Last week they kicked 6 goals against Collingwood, and if you don't match them in tight and tough, then the game often slides very, very quickly. They're proactive out of the middle. They've won centre bounces 5-2 tonight, and you can see here, Callum Sinclair, as soon as he taps that ball and sees they've got an advantage, he is gone. He's trusting his midfielders to get the ball forward. He's looking for a bit of luck, a bit of a fluky play, but it avails. And he gets himself inside 50 for a mark and a great conversion. He's kicked 2 goals. The Sydney Swans have kicked 2 goals out of the centre bounce. That's half their score. Carlton have got some work to do to straighten that up. If they don't, this game will slide really quickly. Callum Sinclair, as you can see, he's been the best player on the ground at the moment. Proactive and positive, Jared. I'm not sure whether he's better value in the forward 50 or in the ruck at the moment.
Probably a combination, but right now the Swans will be wrapped at their star recruit. Has had a big impact in this first quarter, but they've been on top in the middle of the ground. As far as the Blues are concerned, you can see that the Swans are getting 2 of their goals from the centre clearance and 2 from turnovers, so the Blues they need to tidy up a little bit just in that disposal area.
The other thing as well with Sinclair, you look at metres gained, and I know we love that stat, but 164 leading the way. You think that goes to the midfielders in this game. The big ruckman has done extremely well, especially spending half a quarter in the forward line.
So into the second quarter, here's the voice of Eddie Maguire.
Up they go, and Sinclair starting at full forward. Buddy Franklin coming out to between centre half forward and full forward. So how'd you be being the Carlton defence at the moment? Buddy Franklin yet to unleash, and Sinclair is on fire.
Player.
Ball spills out. Jack squeezes the kick. Out comes Franklin now, just off the hands of the pack. Heaney underneath him, gets it out to Buddy. Buddy gets the handball going beautifully. Waiting, holding. Nice handball from Mills. Up to the goal square. Gibbs from behind. Tui to the boundary line, and we have a throw in.
Good pressure, won the ball from the centre. Now they've got to lock it in, the Swans, and try and get one through the middle again.
Crowd of between 20, 25,000, maybe a little more. Parker at the back could have been held. Gibbs not in the action, although trying. Thomas, good to see him back. Boghurst working hard. Kennedy always works hard, almost threw that ball out, trying to find young George Hewitt, wearing the 29 stripping at the bottom of the pack. So still inside Sydney's attacking 50. Tippett doing well in the ruck. Mills, take two. Laidler tried to get it out. So to Kerridge.
This is where they need to now try and provide some run again, Carlton. They've been sort of locked in here. Sydney have been able to set some good structure in around it. Off this big ball now, they need to get front and square and provide some run.
Murphy gets around Heaney towards Casbolt. The big man couldn't take it cleanly. Almost gave away the free kick. Parker gets an effective hand pass away. Here goes Hanbury. Long and low towards Buddy. Buddy can't take the mark. Once again, calls for assistance. Could have been a push in the back. All to no avail. It is locked up. And Jamison going nowhere with Harry Cunningham locking him up.
Leap for Buddy Franklin. And just a little fumble there.
Doherty's the one, isn't he, having to fight the fight against bigger opponents for the Blues today.
Jack did it beautifully there. Just pushed Curnow under the ball. And it spills over the line out of bounds.
You're right, they do that well, don't they? The Swans, they get their body in underneath, push on the backside, on the back of the knees and the hips, get the player in their opposition player in the wrong spot to then win the ball themselves.
Just great leverage. From the back, Tippett gets the tap. Parker gets the handball in. Mitchell almost pushed in the back. It spills for Kennedy. Around the body, up towards the full forward position it goes. Sinclair was again there. Nearly took the mark. Overrunning it. Oh, it opens up for Heaney, who misses from point-blank range.
Wasn't quite balanced in the finish. There's John Longmire talking about clearance work.
Yeah, that's the one there. That's the one where Buddy led up and sees, I reckon Sinclair was the one possibly that came in behind to hit that lead. He was either discussing that or it could have been just the outlet players where the Carlton players had set up for an outlet kick.
Tui back towards Phillips, but he's outmarked by Tippett.
Stay there, Andrew. Thank you.
Buddy ignored. He goes straight over his head in towards Heaney territory. Couldn't take the mark. Kennedy there as well. Fighting on all fours. It's pushed towards the boundary line. Heaney takes it over, making sure that the man with the footy, Doherty, is going absolutely nowhere. It'll be Phillips. Again, up against Sinclair. A poor hand pass lands with Mills, who celebrated his 19th birthday yesterday. And now Harry Cunningham, who is going to try and convert.
A little bit of push and shove going on behind the scenes.
First-year players, though, with the composure that they're showing in the contest, right across the entire competition, has been very good. They're prepared. They're a lot better prepared to play and have an impact from the outset, the time they walk into a club.
2 goals from Cunningham last week. In game number 54 from 30 metres out, he splits the middle. Cunningham gets his first.
Well, everybody in Sydney obviously thrilled with the performance of Mills. Cunningham also having a good start to the season. But this is just good pressure at basically a stoppage, contested ball, and then you set it up, and Brendan Bolton will be horrified at what he saw.
He didn't even want to look at what the outcome was in the end, but you could just see Mills didn't have much room to work in and was able to create a good quick step and hit his target.
So a vital centre break here for Carlton. Need to get on the scoreboard again. First goal of the quarter going to the Sydney Swans. So 15 points, a game-high margin.
The Blues starting with an extra man in defence, just going with the 5 forwards.
Kennedy read it beautifully. Away the Sydney Swans are go again through Parker. Beautiful kick. They're just starting to open them up now. Papley's kick to Big Buddy, who wants to get in on the act. And watching them warm up before the game, Buddy was just caressing them through from 50.
Well, he's a powerful kick, but the extra man is fine when you get that hack kick out of the centre, but it doesn't have much impact if it's just a clean, pure kick forward. And once again, Papley showing how clever he is.
So Buddy's kicked the point so far. He comes in from right on 50 metres and hooks it. Probably in for too much. No worries with the distance. He went all of 60 metres, but through from behind his second for the day.
And you can tell by those numbers that we put up between the goalpost and the point right of centre that was his likely missing area. So true to form.
He brought it out towards Jamison. Buddy's in the thick of things once again, and Mitchell gives it away quickly towards young Hewitt. Back to Kennedy, goes into the pocket towards Hewitt again. He's unceremoniously dumped over the boundary line.
Daisy's in amongst it. He's throwing his weight around again this afternoon.
Swans just over-possessing a little bit there, but I don't think they had many other options. They were well covered up forward. They were looking for an opening, and it didn't come. Good defence from the Blues.
Just about every player in 1/4 of the ground at the moment. And Kennedy picks it up and says, I'll try and get it out. Mitchell also trying to work hard. And eventually it's going to be Carlton who are able to bring it away towards Everett, but outgunned by Grundy.
Now this bloke is having a fantastic start to the season. He was one of the Swans that was in really good form in the NAB Challenge, and he's carried that into the first 2 games.
Nick Smith and Rampy combining. Heaney used the body. Healy used to use the body. Won him at Brownlow in 1988. But now Carlton are away in the form of Doherty.
I like the Healy sound effects. What was that one before? I thought they were watching the Adams family.
Yeah,
Lurcher turned up.
I thought there was somebody went in low and took the knees out, but it could have been the knee injury.
Almost. Luckily, nothing to worry about from that situation. As Rampy. Now, the Swans haven't had much to do from the back line in this term, but at the moment, they're just starting to open Carlton up. The kick was an ordinary one from Grundy, and it's over the line, out of bounds. Deliberate, says the umpire. No, throw it in.
Well, it wasn't deliberate. Just a poor kick.
That's the same result.
Yeah.
Bear free. So throw in Murphy here all on his own. If they can get the tap that way, almost. It comes now finally to Murphy, who found his position.
That's
lost the ball. Went hard. Mitchell was grabbed without it. Should have got the free kick. And that's a high tackle as well. Umpires missed the lot. We'll have a ball up.
Yeah, I think they've got to get in and start paying a couple of the umpires. The Swans weren't set up for that boundary throw-in. Didn't have any of their stoppage structure in place.
Sinclair and Cruiser, the latter wins it. Hanbury, however, gets it out. Opportunity there for Lloyd.
Daisy
busy last week over the line and out of bounds, down to the boundary, and David King.
You can see there the dominance of the 2 Sydney Swan ruckmen and their impact on this game. They lead the clearances 13-7, 8-1 are the centre clearances. You can see the impact of Sinclair to the Sydney Swans already.
Andy, when you can go forward and kick a couple as well, let's play on.
And Mitchell does, up towards half forward. That's going to be okay. Mark taken by Robinson, now deep into the attacking zone once again, and Hewitt can't take it cleanly. And we have got
out of bounds full.
So no, out of bounds the full. Yep. So it hit the point post. So too, he's got a chance to bring it back into play. Goes to the outer side. That's a fine kick to Doherty. Doherty's on half back. Now decides laterally is the way to go. Simpson may be the target. It was the target. It's a poor kick, however. The door opens for Robinson. Gives it away now from 48 metres. The kick is high. It's long, but it is wide from Georgie Hewitt. And one behind is signal. So they're peppering away in this second quarter, Sydney. Kicked 1 goal, 3 already.
Yeah, you can just feel the avalanche might be about to hit here at Etihad. Good play by Daisy Thomas. No, umpire's gone the other way. He's played the free kick against him. So Robinson kicks it inside 50. It's all Sydney Swans up here. No one can take the mark, though. Parker had position 1A, and Curnow takes it to the boundary line for a throw-in. Umpire says, throw it overhead. Jack just shaking his head. I think we need to lip read.
That's not right,
Something like that, Jono. So throw it in the forward pocket. It's all Sydney at the moment. The kick Clears the 50. Big fly there from Rampy. Grundy gets it down to Ted Richards. Richards looks up. Kick was smothered. Now Carlton. They've got players out wide. They can go out here to the skipper, and they do, through Murphy now. Murphy looks up. Not much on offer, so he decides to just go inside the Cripps. Well, Kerridge it was who turned it over. Good tackle from Kerridge on that occasion, and it's held up umpire.
Equally well done by Richards as well. He read that perfectly, come off his direct opponent, knew Boakhurst was working into space, and was able to pick that one off.
Centre wing. Cruiser over the top. Kerridge gets the tap work. Right, little kick. Richards again. Murphy fights hard. Gibbs takes it to the boundary line. Throw in on half-forward flank.
Oh, yes.
Just take your hand away from the front, and there, vision. Look at that.
Got around the wrong way, they said. I think so. They're getting further away.
She'll get the hang of it by the end of the game, don't worry. Here's Curnow going inboard to Cruiser. A proper little hand pass that, well, they may get out of trouble eventually. Right, inside 50, but again, going to be chopped off by Laidler. Called to go. Going to ground is Kerridge, who kicked a goal in the first quarter. Laidler continues to ask the question. There's a man who knows how to use his binoculars. Tony Longmire. Tippett gets an arm to it and has given away the free kick, so it's going to go to Cruiser.
50. No, yes.
Gee.
Well, that's a nice soda.
That's going to bring him to within 2 metres.
And right under the Carlton cheer squad.
So Carlton to get their first score of the quarter.
He needs this one.
And one back for the ruckman.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Blues.
Same mindset, Jetta. Get one back because Tippett and Sinclair have been dominating.
One goal last week. Now he's got his opening goal in this game. Matty Cruiser. And the Blues have their fourth.
Well, the Swans are just keeping the gate open here at the moment. 5 goals, 7 to 4-2. They've had some opportunities to expand on the lead. Didn't quite pick up what the free kick was for. Tom Mitchell's asked to give it back to him, and that's a poor attempt, according to the umpire.
I love Cruiser just shuffled back a little bit quicker when he knew the ball wasn't going to land in his arm. So well played by Cruiser as well.
So against the run of play, look at that, 32% to 64, I think it was, before it went off the screen there. And inside 50's 9-2. The Swans have absolutely dominated, and yet it's a goal apiece in this second term. And suddenly Carlton have got it up forward again. The handball comes back. 32 is Graham, who goes inside, but he's just mucked it up. Tippett. Grundy. Nice kick out wide. Chance now for Lloyd. Lloyd picks up, looks up, Heaney's on, and he finds him, gets him on the half volley. Umpire says play on. Almost getting into the back of his opponent there was White, but he did well, fought on hard, keeps pushing through, tackles his opponent. It's the first time I've seen a bloke with the ball tackle his opponent. He did well, and he holds it up, we'll have a bounce. Look at this turnover. I don't think we need to lip-read that one.
Well, I think the call, the best play would have been maybe Everett to keep going and keep the ball going forward towards the goal square, or that ball go long to the goal square where they had a one-on-one.
Pressure's right on here, Jared. You can just see there's a bit of fumbling going on, but just holding up. Carlton just trying to stem the flow of forward 50s that they were getting the Sydney Swans.
No, I agree with you, Ed. Sydney have had their a good run. They just haven't been able to put enough lead on, and Carlton only need 5 minutes of pure footy, and they can be right back in front.
Cruiser to Gibbs. They're inside 50 once again. Some pushing and shoving at the back, and Laidler wants the footy, and I reckon he's going to get it.
It's good work by Sydney, because Carlton have gone one-on-one, 6v6 if you like, in the forward line. So that's a good defensive mark, because that's why you do that. You go one-on-one to create the ball so you don't get outmarked in those situations.
Smith from half-back. Speaking of being outmarked, Wiedering did it with absolute ease. Goes to Boakhurst, who marks inside 50, and he'll have a shot.
It's a good kick, Wiedering, isn't he?
It's a terrific kick, and it was a good intercept mark. Towers had to do more than he did. It had to hit the ground. He was put under a bit of a challenge. But this is a big opportunity to get 2 in a row.
I don't want to moz him, but he's kicked 5 goals, 10 in his short career. He's on a 45-degree angle and kicking from 45 metres. The drop punt's on its way. It's coming back.
Post.
And it just shaves the post. 5-11.
Well, we're going to check it, I think.
I believe it's behind and against the post. Confirm that it hasn't been for a
They're trying to buy it. Or should I say sell it?
Well, he knows he's kicked
Can you just make sure it hit the post and
behind. He's coming
guys?
to the ground. He needs to get some goal kicking practice.
He thinks it's a behind.
Yes, just a little snip.
Just shaved it.
Review complete. Confirm behind.
Confirming a behind. So 5-11 to Bullhurst.
Stay back, stay behind.
Missed by one revolution, that one. So Mills does it well. That's great composure. The kick was ambitious, and over the line it goes. Good play by Everett. Took it to the boundary line, throw in. So Carlton now starting to apply the pressure. Big couple of moments coming up for Carlton. Need to get a goal here to just hang tight.
Got to win a stoppage.
Cruiser, they all miss it. Cripps. Been a great battle. Kennedy all over him. There's a free kick for High. Look at that.
Yes.
Dragged it over his head. Good play, Curnow. So Curnow's got the ball. Ed Curnow kicks to the hot spot. Phillips at the back almost took the mark. There's his brother. Around the body he goes. The first gamer. He's just offline.
Oh, everyone was up
Good
too.
move, though. What a balanced
wasn't it?
A crack at goal.
Charlie Curnow. First attempt at goals are behind.
Mills comes back into play, this time just going straight down the middle, then he sprinted on.
Great courage from Mills because he's messed up the last kick out, so then to pull the trigger on that, good confidence. Just back yourself in.
Cunningham going towards Buddy.
You can feel the Carlton supporters just starting to move a bit here, Sandy.
Yeah.
They're revving themselves up.
Yeah, the next one will make it very interesting. We've got a throw in on that outer side, almost down to centre wing. Sinclair and Cruiser. Cripps, third man up, had it, tried to get it out. In all sorts of trouble is Kerridge. Curnow gives him a pat on the nut and says, don't worry about it, well done. One goal to Kerridge at the moment. Cripps goes back to Kerridge again, but there's been a whistle. And it was thrown out. So it's going to go the way of Mitchell, who will send Sydney into attack. Is he going to go short? He's just going to pop it up. And that's going to be okay for Heaney.
East-west head, hold. Play it around, play on.
He's a little frustrated. What lies ahead of me? What have I got? Eventually he goes towards Buddy. He got front spot. Cunningham was lurking. Couldn't get it out, however. Rowe, a late inclusion, had it for a moment and then lost it. No one able to get clear. Tippett lurking. Tippett tried to push it forward. He does now. Cruiser couldn't take it. They need support, Carlton. They've got it. Curnow. Doherty. Both there. Smith defending. Does well. Goes over the top to the big man in Sinclair. He finds Mitchell. Mitchell's on centre wing. Penetrating kick up towards the half-forward line. Cunningham was the flyer. Couldn't take the mark. It's locked up at half-back. Heaney asks the question. The umpire says we got a stoppage almost on the 50.
So big Cruiser has lifted against Sinclair. He's been good in the last 10 minutes, but Sinclair does it beautifully at ground floor level. Parker lurking, gets it to Heaney, has a snap at goal. That's the one they needed, Sydney, just as steady. Well, Sinclair again all over it there, Gerard.
You're spot on, Ed. Cruiser's been the best big man on the ground in this term, and the Swans needed to respond, and they did that time through Sinclair, who didn't win the ruck tap, but he got the ball away from the clearance, which is even more important. And Isaac Heaney's been in the right spot a few times, but just been pinged. This time he just gets a metre or so of clearance, and he's a smart player around the goals, Jono.
Oh, look at that. Just pure hit on the left foot, quick, sharp.
Heaney gets his first lightning hand pass from Luke Parker, enabling him to complete the snap.
Okay, just rucks in, step out.
But Parker, how good was Parker then as well? Because he read where Rowe was trying to actually spoil the ball too. That's what set up his ability to read the ball off hands.
Phillips wins it. Kennedy a touch, goes backwards and then sadly loses the football. A chance now for Graham. That's up towards the 50. That's a good kick and an even better mark. Cripps has got it. 46 metres out. Almost directly in front.
Yeah, King, he had a graphic on Friday night footy, and this young bloke, was he a centimetre taller than Nick Riewoldt?
Centimetre taller than Nick Riewoldt and 1 centimetre short of Lance Franklin. He's a key position build, but an elite clearance player. He's a big boy, Jared. The appearance of him on television doesn't do it justice.
Well, let's see if he can do that mark justice. Kicking from 48 metres. The drop punt trying to bend it back. It's going to be tight, but just away to the right, one behind.
Another post up. Couple for this quarter now for the Blues.
4-5 plays 6-7 with under 7 minutes remaining as Rampy brings it back into play, heading towards the other side. Well done by Papley.
She's
good
good
play, gave it to Kennedy, but they're partly smothered.
Hit the post 3 times, the Blues. Yep. Been a bit unlucky.
Johnny, getting the ball out of defence was a real Achilles heel for the Swans last year. They look as if they've worked on it a lot over summer, and it hasn't been an issue for them so far in the 5.5 quarters they've played.
Yeah, they seem to just not adjust well when Malchiski departed. I think he was their key. He was the one that they just read the trigger of continuously. So they're working it out. They're trying even Mills today, one of the youngest players on the ground.
Parker does it beautifully. Almost took the screamer, then picks up his own crumb, kicks it inside to Towers. Inside 50 it goes. Beautiful kick. Oh, out comes Robinson and takes a beautiful mark. Gets one to go on with, but nothing untoward in any of that. Bit of a spot fire happening though.
It was a great kick by Towers. He remained composed even though he was getting some heat, and he waited for the lead to come, and then he dropped it short.
So Robinson, originally from the Mossman Swans in New South Wales, in his 6th game has kicked 2 goals, 1. He's now got 3 goals, 1 to his name. They've kicked the last 2 of the Swans.
Well, he was made to earn it in the end. He took a big grab. Simpson come through and just gave him a little bit to think about following the mark, and there's a little bit of niggle there. You can see Simpson there coming back, trying to fill the hole, clear mark, and a hit. Lucky it wasn't 50 metres and put on the goal line. In the end, was able to gain his composure, go back and kick the goal. But it's a big goal from Sydney. Even bigger hit from Simpson. They're having another look at it, but they needed that steadier. 20-point lead.
Robinson joins the growing list of Sydney goal kickers as we edge towards half-time. Carlton would dearly love 1 or 2 just to stay in touch at the long break. Sinclair has been a revelation. Out of the middle they go once again. And a chance for Rampy to send it towards Heaney. 3 against 2 here. Carlton with the numbers. Wiedering, steady, cool and calm, but running out of room was Nick Graham. We've got to throw in. Great centre clearance there from Kieran Jack. He was under heat. He looked for the first option, made the choice. No, it's not there, but then there was a second option coming. So good teamwork there by Sydney Swans. Phillips got a hand to it, but that was all. Jack to Lloyd. A high ball inside 50. Difficult one to grab. The fist was big from Simpson. In towards Heaney. Gets a cruel bounce, but it's gone over the top. Papley, the boy from Bunyip, has done it again. Well, we'll have a good look at this because Sam Rowe, he pushes his opponent in Papley away from the contest, but then he doesn't follow up. And what he does do is he just gives himself some space. And this kid, the whole competition is going to be awake to him. He is a very, very talented player. So bottom left there, there's the push, and then he doesn't follow him. And the forward pocket plumber, he says, all right, no problems. Cop that one.
There we go. Just puts another fitting on the finished product. Great work.
So Tom Papley, having a magnificent debut last week, snaps a ripper here. Kicked 3 goals last week against Collingwood, gets 1 against Carlton so far. 5 minutes left in this quarter, and suddenly the Swans have put the boot down. Out of the centre, vital kick forward for Carlton. They need to do something with this opportunity, but Hanbury's too good. He wanted the ball, went and got it. Hewitt, another debutant last week, up towards Heaney, getting in front though, taking the mark was Tippett.
That's improved play from Tippett. He has really started the season well.
Rampy's kick was a beauty. Good intercept almost by Simpson. They've got the numbers down there. Tui back to Simpson. Standing start. Goes up the line. Kerridge gets underneath it and it stays in play. Picked up by Daisy Thomas. Handball's inside. Trying to make things happen. Oh, that is a very dangerous handball. It's going to come unstuck. Cunningham is waiting, gets the bounce. Coming through is Mitchell. Mitchell tries to get a free kick and does for too high through the head back. And he'll take it at half forward. 4 minutes left. As Gerard said, Sinclair's the man. Buddy pointing. Decides to go longer still from behind. Oh, beautiful mark getting across and taking it there is Wiedering. So Wiedering gets the handball going and Carlton need to get a goal to stay in this game.
Curnow running the outer side, has a bounce. Looks up towards centre wing. Everett and Lamb it was. Plays on quickly, goes into Gibbs. You're going to have to be quick, but you're not quick enough. Ripping tackle. And they've lost the football, and now an opportunity for Mitchell to pop it over the top to Tippett. He does. Tippett goes in towards the middle. Now Sydney all of a sudden, a chance with another one. Up towards Buddy, but he's caught behind. Has to beat a couple. Hanbury will find Buddy. He's got him now. Buddy's away. Wiedering won't get him. Buddy shoots for goal, but he misses. And he's going to get another kick. He's going to get another kick.
And he's given 50 as well.
Directly in front. Point-blank range. Franklin will kick his first. 47 goals and 29 behinds last year in an injury-plagued season.
Go nuts, Sandy.
Buddy gets the goal, and Sydney kick clear.
Well, it was a big contest, and Buddy kept his feet. That's what he does. He keeps himself alive in the contest. There's still plenty of niggle out there. The Carlton defenders are just trying to get under the skin. Great chase down here on Gibbs. That's what set up the play, though. Great run down there from Hewitt. And there's Buddy here, over the back with the handball from Hanbury. There's the push in the small of the back. Not sure what the 50 was for after that, but he got one. He got put on the goal line.
I think the umpire might have got some advice. So Buddy Franklin gets his first for the day, courtesy of a 50-metre penalty and a push in the back.
He's had a handful of disposals there, and he's got his goal on the board in this first half.
Umpire bring the ball back for a secondary bounce. So it's 5-1 this quarter. 12 minutes in, it was a goal apiece. And Sydney have kicked the last 4 goals through Henny, Robinson, Papley and Franklin. Mitchell has been fantastic today. Gets it out. Little toe poke along the ground from Rampy. Carlton under pressure. Cripps trying to get the ball. They're all over Cripps.
Oh, Tippett caught one.
Yeah, got one in the eye. Daisy Thomas in there. Cripps. It's desperate football at the moment. Bryce Gibbs just gets a toe poke on it. Pushes it out. Curnow. That's Charlie Curnow. Kerridge. Handball inside. Right. Wrong.
There's a good close tackle from Zach Jones.
Heaney. Inside. Now the Swans are on. It's 1-on-1 up forward, though. Heaney just chips it up. And out comes Sinclair again. Didn't go for the mark. Just left it for his teammate. It's picked up beautifully by Hewitt. He was grabbed high, wasn't he? Yes, said the umpire. And we'll take the free kick from 45 metres out.
I'll tell you what, Cripps is involved there as well, but he has been, once he's got the ball around congested areas, we spoke pre-game about him getting his arms up and being strong. Sydney have gone that hard at him to make him spill the ball and not be able to use it effective. They're really focused on Cripps, and they've been effective in affecting his game so far in a negative fashion.
Yeah, only 2 clearances for Cripps today, but they've been working very, very hard. That's a sloppy tackle. So, Georgie Hewitt from Broughton, Mundura. Is that it, Sandy? Is that one of your suburbs over there in South Australia, the old stomping ground?
That might be one of the newer ones.
Hewitt comes in. He kicked 1-2 last week. He's now got 1-1 this afternoon. Gets his second career goal in his second game.
It's a good goal for the Swans, but Sam Powell, he's been doing plenty of work as the Blues runner. Today you can see him there. He's got the camera on the hat. There he's up with Bryce Gibbs, just having a chat to him. You'd love to have a little mic there as well, just to know exactly what he was saying. But they do a number of Ks, the runners. up around probably between 15 and 20, depending on the day and where the coach is at. But you can see there he's all over the ground trying to deliver as many messages, get the structures right out there for the Blues.
Now out to a somewhat alarming 38-point margin all of a sudden. Sydney leading. It's been a big quarter by the visitors.
Well, they've equalised the clearance numbers, Sandy, Carlton, but it's not showing on the scoreboard.
Here they go again through Kennedy down towards Heaney, having to do the work from behind, and he's given away the free kick. Kerridge was away, but it's going to go back to Daisy Thomas, who goes wide. They've got a minute and 2 seconds to try and get another score to stay in this game. The hand pass went wide from Doherty. They've still got it on centre wing, but nowhere to go, so they've got to back pedal. They might come right across to Wiedering. No, they'll come even further to Tui. Wiedering now running through the middle, but stops. And Tui also decides to go short. That's okay to Curnow. He may go back to Tui. He does. Back to Thomas. Well, they're going all the way across to the other side of the ground. They're going absolutely nowhere. Simpson, as the clock continues to tick down.
Just got to take the ball inside forward 50.
Here we go.
Just 8 to 18, and this is where it's been breaking down so often, Jono. Across that across that wing half forward area, they cannot penetrate.
Smith and Curnow disentangling themselves. Short ball now, an opportunity for Jack. Long and low, Barty uses the body. It goes through everyone's hands. Tui's at the back. Fumbles, but the siren is going to save him. It's half time. He didn't like the attention that was paid to him by Buddy Franklin. And a little old Irish temper is starting to flare here at Etihad.
Bit of the red mist.
Well, Mum and Dad are in the audience. Who wants to show them something here up against the fence?
Callum, don't go in. Let it go.
No major harm done, I don't think. They pick each other up. Teammate to teammate.
Yeah, Tui didn't like the fact that Buddy Franklin gave him a bit of treatment after the siren had gone.
Carlton fans not happy either, but it is half-time. A big quarter by Sydney. A 6-goal blast, in fact. 10 goals 7 to 4 goals 5. And here's where the problem started. Let's go down to the boundary, and David King's with one of the stars of the game, Josh Kennedy.
Josh, I think you enjoyed that. You look like having fun in there.
Oh no, it's been a pretty heated game. Very contested. We got a few late because we're in front, but it's been a really good, hard-fought game.
It has been a tough clearance battle inside, hasn't it? You got the early ascendancy, but they bounced back in that second term.
Yeah, well, you know their mids are a class act. Murphy, Gibbs, Cripps gone to another level, so it's been a big focus for us going in the week, and I think we're going all right at the moment.
Going to the break, mate.
Good man, thank you.
Ronnie Kiggy with Josh Kennedy. Yeah, they've got to work on Cripps today. They're playing really well, the Sydney Swans. And that quarter, they really kicked clear. A 6-goal 3-quarter to 1 goal 3. And Sydney now out to a lead of 38 points at halftime. Carlton 4-5-29. The Sydney Swans 10-7-67.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium, where the Sydney Swans lead the Carlton Football Club by 38 points. The major change today from round 1 for Carlton is their forward half pressure. You can see 36 intercepts last week versus the Richmond Football Club, but that has not been the case today. Well down at half-time, only 4. Not giving them repeat opportunities and easy scores today. It's a tough job for the Carlton boys today.
Thank you, Kingy. We're set to go in the second half. Let's see if they can make a fight of it. 38 points down. Tippett up against Cruiser. There's Buddy with Jamison right on his hammer. There you go, the big men. Cruiser floats high and he wins it. Gibbs gets a hurried high ball up towards the 50. Difficult one to grab, but he's done it well. Clever mark and an opportunity now to go forward. That was through Curnow. Into the lineup this week, and we wish him well.
It's pretty impressive. His couple of touches, Jono, nearly spun and kicked a great goal in the second quarter. And that's a good mark.
Yeah, we spoke earlier. He just need to settle into the game, get a couple of touches and get going. His first couple of kicks were very good. That one there, though, he just need to push back a bit more. He really gave Kerridge no opportunity to mark one-on-one.
Cruiser got front spot, looking for Cripps. Tippett
Better from the Blues. They've got to lock it in. They just didn't take the ball inside forward 50 anywhere near enough in the second term. 18-8 in favour of the Swans. You can't score unless you're getting it in there, and this gives them an opportunity.
Cripps out of the air, snaps at goal, but he's away to the right, and it wobbles over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Because Kinney obviously mentioning there about their forward half intercepts, only 4 for this game, and that's because, one, you're right, they haven't been able to get it in, and Sydney have just been able to transition way too easily out of defence. So moments like this where they've got an opportunity to set up correctly all over, if Sydney get a quick kick out, they should be able to make the contest and get it going back in.
Tippett it was who initially got it out. Now Jack goes long and high towards the centre wing area. Heaney's lurking, but he hasn't had possession. It goes to the big man in Sinclair, who's had a field day. Here comes Buddy, sprinting down the boundary line. Centering kick in towards half forward. Buddy takes a sensational mark. And Tom Papley, one of the smallest players on the ground, will go back and shoot for his second goal.
Well, Cunningham was superb there. His use, his body use and his ability to just hold on to the ball until he laid it off to Buddy Franklin was excellent. And this is a great mark. This is an incredible start to a bloke. It was touch and go whether he was ever going to be on the list.
Directly in front, 40 metres out, goal umpire barely moves. Papley has got his second. Sydney away to a flyer in the second half.
In fact, I'm told it was so nip and tuck. It was only the day before lists had to be finalised. The football department looked at their list and said, McGlynn is in a bit of a worry here. We need a small forward. They had a short amount of money left in the salary cap, and they decided to take a punt on Papley. And he's already repaid them.
It was great work there too. Just he summed up that marking situation. He looked at where his teammates were and then knew where to attack it.
So Sydney have kicked the last 6 goals of the game, 7 of the last 8 since quarter time. Papley's got his second. And Gerard Healy's just saying that Papley was able to just squeeze into the Sydney salary cap. And as the last decision made on their list, Gerard, it's paid off. The last 2 weeks he's been fantastic with 5 goals in his first 6.5 quarters of footy.
It just makes you wonder how many other young blokes are out there that are genuine footballers. That might be a little bit short of stature, might be a little bit wide, might be a little bit everything, but give them a chance and they can get the ball.
And the second edition of The Recruit coming up, and there's plenty in there, Gerard, something to look forward to later in the year on Fox Footy. As Cripps tried to take the one-hander, Kerridge at the fall of the ball from 48 metres. He squeezed it around, won't come back enough though, and through for a behind.
Here's Jack taking the kick in, going short. What lies ahead for Kieran Jack? Comes towards Heaney and Kennedy. The latter takes a good strong mark. Wonderful player. Goes into the middle. Beautiful kick. Finding Cunningham. Now they're away. Oh, Mills dropped what he should have taken, but he recovers to hold it up, and he got it out well to Cunningham. They're not out of trouble yet. Tippett tries to give it back once again. Now they've got a problem because Gibbs got it to Thomas. Thomas gets it away. Murphy snaps at goal. It's high and it's good. There's the quick reply. Murphy gets his first for the day.
Yeah, it was a good work there. They were able to compete extremely hard. I think that's the thing. Sydney were all over him in that first half of the game. Whenever Carlton got a ball in congestion, Sydney just put some good pressure and power through their tackles. Here, they were able to turn the tables a little bit and repeat it on Sydney, who had first use of the ball, but then it bobbled around, and then they were strong there. Great work by Gibbs over the top, and then the star, Murphy, running into open goal.
One goal, 4 to 6 goals since the last goal coming to Carlton at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. So great to see Mark Murphy back into some really good form. He was great last week. He's had that terrible shoulder injury. Was sore at times last week as well against the Tigers, but has really played well in his opening 2 games. So secondary bounce, up they go again. Big cruiser starting to get off the ground. Couldn't quite pick the ball up. Was beautifully done by Parker. Hanbury's kick up towards Buddy Franklin off the hands of the pack. Simpson for Carlton to Tui, the 100-gamer. Good kick, Spearman. And a nice mark taken there as well for the Carlton side by Nick Graham.
He's under pressure. That was a really good kick from Dan Hanbury.
Graham's kick just sits up. Good mark, though. Kerridge at full stretch. Kerridge just chips to the boundary line. Tui has got a thumping kick on him. Decides to go short, just chips it in. So not going too far quickly here, the Blues. In fact, they go backwards now. Try and change the angle up as Curnow gets it. Ed Curnow.
They're awake to it. They're going man-on-man with all these ones here, the Sydney Swans, and they're slowly pushing them back, and they'll have to kick to a contest down the line.
And here it comes as Rowe gets a good kick on it to Simpson, but that was beautiful play there by Papley. Broke the tackle, and away he goes, has a bounce. He's going to go long to Buddy! Yeah, almost.
It's a slipstream.
Tui. Now, that wasn't intentional. That was just a shank, but the umpire will pay it.
That was deliberate as they come.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
absolutely.
He missed it.
Yeah, it was an inside-out torp, otherwise known as a Woomer banger, but they all count.
Doesn't matter. Well, Mills.
Good kick. Sorry, good intercept.
Looking for a 50 there, but Doherty did very well to get across and take that mark. So there's intercepts that David King was talking about at half-time that haven't been availing themselves at Carlton this week after a good effort last week. That one was just to show that he wasn't trying inside out, proving the point. Curnow to his brother. The two brothers working beautifully. Good bounce. Now Carlton can go. Daisy Thomas. Come on, wind back the clock, Daisy. Has a bounce. Inside 50 with a kick. It's a beautiful kick to fall forward as well. Free kick. It's going to Sydney. No, it's Carlton. It's coming back the other way. And it is going to go to Kerridge, I think. So Carlton with a fast break and a beautiful centering kick from Daisy Thomas. And Kerridge will line up 30 metres out directly in front.
Already got 1 goal, 1 in this game. Kerridge, 14 disposals.
They haven't kicked consecutive goals since the first 2 of the game. Wasn't a whole lot in that.
No, it was Kerridge just going for a spoil more than anything.
So Kerridge comes in, has kicked 1. In fact, he was the one who kicked that second consecutive goal for the Blues early in the match. They desperately need this one. And Kerridge delivers. Back-to-back goals for Carlton.
Good response by the Blues, and that time it came from deep in defence. Intercept mark, and worked hard in the transition and finally hit it to a rugged spot. Let's have a look now. Not a lot in that, I've got to say.
Kerridge nearly missed him completely.
Took his own man out.
That's what I thought initially. It was a free kick to the Swans. The Swans were falling over everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kerridge gets the free.
Back-to-back goals giving Carlton a glimmer of hope. 14.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Tippett and Phillips to lock horns once again. Phillips goes early. And the umpire's found a free kick and was holding on. And it's going to go the way of Cripps. Had an excellent first game, 10 clearances last week. Here he goes, putting them inside 50 once again. Everett decided not to fly. He's lurking at the back. The mark's going to be paid to Laidler. Told to go now, so he does. To the outer side. The man he was looking for was Towers. He didn't find him. Trying to lock it up as Robinson. Towers goes again. And Rowe, who was a late inclusion for Walker, who withdrew through calf problems. Phillips did well. Tui. Poorly directed. Straight down the throat of Laidler again. He goes in towards the middle. It's 1 against 1 at the moment. Cunningham has got a free kick.
They have to work on their
by
positioning
Simpson.
with Laidler at the moment, the Blues. He's just intercepting everything that's going in from a high ball from the Blues.
Lloyd and Jones did well in the end. Inside 50 towards Buddy. They're ganging up on him today. Jamison couldn't take it cleanly. Wiedering, cool and calm and steady, and delivers. Mark's going to be paid to Sam Kerridge. So he plays straight on, down towards Graham, who goes up towards the wing, and Murphy took his eye off it for a moment. Laidler again. He's in everything at the moment these last couple of minutes.
Yeah, in the last couple, Sandy, he's been so influential. I thought Buddy needed to do a little bit more at the other end of the ground. He could have made that contest, brought the ball to ground. There was support at ground level.
Mark Murphy's got to wrap them up as well. He's got to mark those that come his way.
Interesting battle between him and Dan Hanbury at the present time.
So Ed Curnow gets the ball from the stoppage, kicks up to a one-on-one contest. Up goes Everett, needs to go hard here. Rampy did well enough. The ball spools. Kick in from Graham. It's bending back. It's bending back. Not enough. Just offline.
Mitchell takes the kick in. Suddenly a little bit of urgency creeping into the Swans. Zach Jones. They'd like a steadier now. Cunningham's got it on half back. Taking from Mills.
This is too easy. This is too easy. It's very lax defending until that point. Simpson saved them.
He did.
At the halfway mark, they've been able to go coast to coast on their kick-outs.
And they're going to go back once again, courtesy of Bockhorst, in towards the pocket, and the mark is taken by Thomas.
It's a sloppy kick, though, going in. Been one of few poor errors by the Sydney Swans in that transition.
He's on a nightmare of an angle, Daisy.
Will he make the distance, Jared?
He's right on his mark. He's right on his level.
He's going to be kicking from...
Yeah, he has to run around. He has to use his... See if he's still got that class in his ability here.
Kicking from 40. It's on its way, but it's just right.
He's looking better.
It is.
One behind.
He's been physical. Yeah, very physical today as well. Looking at his tackle stats a little bit earlier on, he had 5 in the first quarter to start, so he was just trying to use that to get his game going and really build from those defensive pursuits.
Laidler brings it in. Nick Smith's got it. He goes short and finds his teammate in Dean Towers.
Gain an easy extraction from the Sydney Swans in their kickouts.
So Towers takes on Cruiser. Cruiser does well. Hanbury chipping. And yet again, Jared, from a stoppage, they get 2-3 possessions and get the ball out the Sydney Swans.
I reckon that one travelled about 6 metres, eh?
Correct.
Well, we've got the mowing strips. They're 12.5 metres. It did not go past one mowing strip.
Quite right.
In the meantime, Parker, for all that, gets it up to half forward, but a beautiful mark has been taken by Doherty. He's been marking well, but his disposal hasn't been great. He puts his teammate Simpson under all sorts of pressure. And Simpson does it magnificently. His kick is a good one too, out to Kerridge, who takes the mark in front of his eyes. He's got Murphy sprinting down the wing. That's where he wants to go. Holding it up, not much on now. He might go short. The side's got the middle. A dangerous kick. Will it come off? No, it won't, because the Swans have got the numbers. And here comes Heaney. Heaney now kicks long. Franklin's there against 3. Up he goes. 1, 2, 3 grabs. No, says the umpire. Ball hit the deck. Half volley in the third attempt. Diving in on top of it was Hewitt. Umpire has a good look and says, you've had it a long time, you're gone.
He's got his arm pinned. He had to just try and, I suppose, push that out with one arm, but he couldn't really do too much there.
Pleased to see Heaney up the ground. I think it'd be good to just let him track a bit higher, just for his experience, his overall education. He's a good kick.
So good work again by Dale Thomas getting back there, applying the tackle. Kerridge and Murphy combined. It's Kerridge at half-back flank for Carlton. A little bit of urgency coming into the game now. They concede some ground. Hold it up. Simpson chips. They just don't want to turn it over at this stage. And the ball's being marked by Curnow on half-back flank.
Has a look down the line firstly, then inboard. And down the line it is, because Cruiser is lurking, but he's edged out. Sydney with the numbers are able to clear. Parker goes to Hanbury. Had Heaney running, just didn't quite get him in time. They're streaming down the ground. Look out, buddy. Got the decent old shove in the back.
Yeah.
And Zach, that's not the way to celebrate your 100th.
Well, maybe he was looking to get one back, because at half-time, these two were, it was on in the goal score after the side, after Buddy threw Zach to the ground. Saw him there, hit him late, 50-metre penalty.
Franklin just the 1 goal so far. That was in the second term, a gimme. And you'd have to say this is exactly the same. Franklin has 2. Sydney again steady after that mini flurry from Carlton.
Well, they've been at it all afternoon, in particular just before half-time. They had a little bit of a tate-a-tate. That was it. The siren had gone, and he wasn't happy, Zach. And Buddy wasn't happy that he was being shoved around. And then there was just an opportunity he just couldn't let go, and he needed to.
Yeah, didn't need that one.
No. They'd had all the momentum, and he just handed it back on a plate.
Zach Tui giving away a 50-metre penalty to Lance Franklin just to get him fired up. That's not what you want to do at this stage of the game. Lance is now 2 goals, and the Sydney Swans are starting to attack.
Jack's
attack beautifully. Yeah. Jack was magnificent. Sinclair again. They'll boo Buddy Franklin. Won't worry him too much. The handball comes inside to Papley. Ball kept in. Good play by Doherty. This time he gets a decent bit of leverage off his kick. Up to the wing position, the ball goes over the line. Yes. Umpires paid it.
You gotta love the crowd, don't you? Boos to ball and then a cheer at the end of it all.
Yes. Well, it's an old habit, but it's a good rule, and he absolutely went over deliberately.
Big Casbolt, big Levi, thumps it to the top of the square.
This bloke's been right well all day.
Mark that one though.
You'd like him to mark it.
Yeah.
Laidlet. He knows he should have marked it. So let's have a look at this last out of bounds. So he takes it over. Wasn't a whole lot much more he could do with that situation, but umpire paid it anyway.
Just made it a bit obvious.
Yeah. Throw in. So would you if a 6'8" bloke I reckon too. You jump over the line. There's a chance for Carlton though. The kick from Graham is high, it's up, and it's to the near side and through for behind.
I think we're going to see some creative ways of getting yourself out of trouble in that set of circumstances. But no doubt at some stage some clever person can handball to the bloke who's about to tackle him and then tackle that person and drag him across the line.
Into the shins or something, Jared, out of bounds on the floor. Here's Hanbury. There's a free kick though. Umpire's paid it. It's coming back to White.
In fact, if it had been discussed and analysed, as I'm sure it will, it may well have saved Richmond the game on Friday night. And
never in doubt.
Never in doubt, yes.
White kicks to full forward. Up they go. Cruiser almost. Grundy, beautiful play. Jack again. Just gets his hand in. Now a chance for the captain. Murphy comes in for a second. Hits the post.
It's a great battle, this, between Hanbury and Murphy. They have been tracking each other very closely in this term.
Carlton have hit the post 4 times today.
Short to Kennedy.
In fact, it's a 0-0 draw in this term between the two of them. That was Murphy's 3rd possession. Hanbury's had just the 2. But overall, the match, Hanbury in front.
Kennedy towards Parker, and at the back is Mills. Nice use of the body.
Well, that's gone about 8 metres.
Yes. Going on your mowing strips, Jared.
Well, the umpires, they've got them there. They should use them.
It's like working with a groundskeeper. This is Mitchell. Thomas on the mark. Mitchell goes high, up towards Tippett. Belted away from him. Gibbs, like a thrashing machine, he'll find himself at the bottom of the pack as Heaney makes a few adjustments on the bench. Gibbs picks himself up. So too does Daniel Robinson. We've got another stoppage. Cruiser won it to Gibbs. Into the middle. Get your skates on, Levi Casbolt, because Reg Grundy is right there with you. Casbolt does well, gets it off towards Curnow. He goes even wider still to Doherty. Doherty picks it up on centre wing. He's in trouble. Gets claimed, not before he gets the ball away. Now a chance for White. White goes up towards the half-forward line. Waiting down is Mills. Thomas is there as well. Daisy picks it up. The hand pass is a little errant, I'm afraid. And it opens the door for Sydney once again. From a standing start, the kick is high by Hewitt. Up towards the half-forward line. Now where's Buddy? The lead is on. Now he drops back. The kick is high. They're two-timing him once again. Buddy's at the back. Gets clear. Has it. Loses it. Goes again. Gets the hand pass out. They're not out of it yet. Kennedy leaves it for a teammate. They give ground. The standing start. The kick is high. This is by Sinclair. In towards full forward. And no mark taken. Once again, Papley's in the thick of things. He's tucked on the boundary line. Gives it away. Ball spills free. Gee, there's pressure on this Carlton defence at the moment. Curnow's kick is wide. It finds the safety of the boundary line. For the moment anyway. And we've got a throw in.
Well, there's no doubt, Jono, that is excitement for the last 30, 40 seconds, because nobody's just dribbled the ball across the line.
Exactly.
It's been a great rule change, no doubt about that. So, Smith for the Swans. Thumps it inside 50. Big mark required here. Good play by Cunningham again. Almost got him off the ball there, but Doherty did enough to just get his hand on it. Wiedering in the back pocket.
They've worked this mark really well, Sydney. They closed up this one just to lock Carlton deep, make it go long down the line. They set up with their extra man. They'll be disappointed with that ball getting to there. for Zach Tui, because the man on the mark did the right thing initially, got up and closed Wiedering up.
So Wiedering, one of 4 #1 draft picks in this Carlton side. I don't think it's ever happened for him, other than last week, obviously. Wiedering, Murphy, Gibson, Cruiser. The turnover is complete, is it? Yes, Hanbury handballs over the top. Here's a chance now for the Swans. Good twisting and turning. Jack, so hard to bring to ground. Even when he was on the ground, he was fantastic. And Sinclair goes bang and kicks his third.
He's a phenomenal player, Jono, and he's at his very best today, Kieran, Jack.
Yeah, that was just strong in the contest again. Didn't give up on it all. He knew where he had to go. I think overall their team defence here was very good from Sydney. Their positioning there to create the turnover. Poor kick from Carlton, but Sydney had their players in the right spot. The way they attack it, Hanbury with speed, Jack with speed. No wonder they get through here, and look at that, straight out the back. Do you reckon he knew he was there, Jared?
No doubt about that.
The margin was 38 points at half-time. It currently stands at 39. Sydney leading.
And Callum Sinclair having a terrific day, Jono. He started with a couple of goals early, and he's just banged through his third.
Tippett out of the middle. Second attempt was a punch that went 25 metres. Everett charges down. There's going to be a free kick, and it's going the way of Carlton.
50.
50 metres, so Everett picks it up.
Well, no, the
gives
free
it over
kick.
to Simpson.
No, the free kick was for Simpson, and then Everett called for it. Jack threw it to him. Wrong player giving it back to.
So Simpson's still running. He kicks from 55. Smith will chop it off on the last line of defence.
Been a terrific player again today, and for so long with the Swans.
All-Australian several years ago, Nick Smith. Gets onto that trusty left foot. Parker, Gibbs from behind. Parker too strong.
Just the judgment.
Yeah, open proceedings, Jono, with 40 disposals in round 1.
Not a bad start to your home and away season.
Should just about get him 3 Brownlow votes towards Tippett, who just tried to palm it away. Eventually it comes out the back door. Working hard was Dean Towers. Hanbury on all fours. Rampy through. Rampy has a look in towards the middle. Kick's got to be good, and it is, finding its mark in Hewitt. Hewitt goes towards the half-forward line. That one also had to be good. There's a shove there.
I've been impressed with the Swans kicking. It hasn't been their greatest strength over the last couple of years, but this season so far, they are well up on previous years.
White not happy, but it was a definite shove, and now Parker stands alone and takes the mark 40 metres out directly in front.
He's right on the end of a hack kick after I gave him the big rap, John.
Yeah, it's effective. Don't worry about that. So, but just he gets into positions, Parker. He just works up and down the ground. He's taken a defensive mark here at D50, a big one against Gibbs to keep Sydney in this passage of play. Flows down with the ball. Now an opportunity.
Playing his 103rd game. Straight through the middle. Not a problem at all for Luke Parker. He gets his first, and Sydney cruising away now in this third term.
Yeah, it's been an impressive couple of minutes by the Sydney Swans. From an interception by Smith at one end, and then a good transition. That wasn't a great kick, it's fair to say. But nobody from Carlton read it. I mean, they were just there like statues.
Yep. He was going for Parker. You can see there the hand was up. He was looking at him. You don't agree, Jerry?
Oh, I'm happy to run with you, John. Happy to run with you. Just an average day at the office for Luke Parker.
Quiet, really.
Compared to last week.
A day out for anyone else, an average day for Luke Parker. He is a sensation. Taking big marks at both ends of the ground and converting on the scoreboard, and it's a game-high 45-point lead to the Swans now, as you can see, with 3 minutes to go in this third term. Out of the centre again they go. Kennedy grabbed by the legs, got the handball out. Mitchell's been magnificent. Great kick on the left foot, just wonderful vision. Hewitt's got the mark, 55 out. So Tippett in the goal square. Sinclair leads out, that's where he's going.
Well read.
Beautiful play by Daisy Thomas. So Dale Thomas dashing out of defence, gets the kick out. Now Carlton can set something up, though. There's not much further afield, so they have to hold it up. Murphy twisting and turning, just waiting, hoping that somebody will present. That's why I had to go into the corridor. It might come off. It does reasonably well there for Graham, but there's just Swans everywhere. And finally it has been turned over. Kennedy to Mitchell. has a second go at it. Tried to turn his opponent inside out. Towers gets the handball inside. Mills gets it over to Heaney.
Better pressure from Carlton.
Another great tackle from Daisy Thomas, and he gets the free kick.
Well, that's the pressure that's been missing for most of this quarter. Tommy Mitchell should have given the first handball to Tippett, tried to go a little bit too far, and that's contagious. Finally, they lost it.
You've got to admire Dale Thomas. We know he's under duress with those ankle injuries that he's got. His some of the brilliance he had in his heyday at Collingwood not there, but gee, he's put himself in today and done everything he possibly can.
Yeah, it's brick by brick when you're trying to rebuild from a low base, and today he certainly put a few in place.
Yeah, bad ankles, and of course a shoulder injury that put him out after about 30 seconds of last year.
So he's had 19 disposals, 10 kicks, and he's going at 80% with his effective disposal. He's had 6 tackles to match, so yep, he'd be pleased so far with his first performance back.
When you consider he only played 5 games last year, it's great to see him back. Hanbury, delightfully done towards Cunningham. Now just trying to paddle the ball forward. We're inside 1.5 minutes in this third term.
He's given away a free kick there, Hanbury, but it's probably his only mistake for the day. He hasn't been brilliant with his disposal in the last few outings.
Thomas to Kerridge. Kerridge goes long up towards the half-forward line. Gibbs was a target. He's got to beat a couple here. He's beaten one, but he needs assistance. He goes towards the boundary line. It will go over. No, it's got to be kept in play. And the Swans bend it back to accommodate Mitchell. Tommy Mitchell's got it at half-back.
Just getting back to Hanbury, though, his possession today has been 100% spot on. He's been brilliant, and he's been inside a lot of times, creative, and hitting targets almost every time.
Parker, possession number 25, finding Mitchell again. He goes backwards, so they're probably
words come
happy
from the bench,
enough. Just wind down the clock, and she's all over. So this quartet around the ball at the moment could pick up quite a few disposals here. Rampy, will he go back to Hanbury? No, he goes longer towards Parker. Got a hand to it.
He's not happy Hanbury either.
No.
Look, it was an easy one there for him. Didn't get it. Jared, you said how well he was going. 23 possessions at 96% efficiency.
Yep. Cruiser front spot, but he doesn't get it. Cripps caught by Hanbury, taken to ground.
It's been a complete game from him to date.
Parker working hard again. Kennedy was in there. Heaney brings it wide to Hanbury. Time for a score. They need a mark. Over the head of Papley. It will not be a mark. It is three-quarter time, and Sydney in control. They have extended that 38-point lead to 45 points. And looking the goods with 1 to play here at Etihad. Sydney by 45 points. Carlton now have the job ahead of them. 4 straight goals to Sydney in that third quarter. Sensational grab from Tom Papley. He booted his second. Carlton restricted to just 2 goals 5 in that third term. And Sydney now leading by 45 points after leading by 38 at half-time. There you can see it, 6-10 to 14-7. Goal kickers, Sinclair, the leading goal kicker on the ground with 3. Franklin's got a couple, Papley's got a couple, Kerridge also has 2 for Carlton. Jared, you want to take particular note of 2 gentlemen who've seen a lot of each other today.
Yeah, good match-up in the middle of the ground. The Swans would have come in knowing that they had to stop Mark Murphy and they had to stop Patrick Cripps. Well, they've kept Cripps to 12, and this is a great match-up between 2 of the guns of the competition. And all the votes at the present time go to Dan Hanbury. He's got Murphy in disposals. He's playing in the winning side, obviously, so probably more easy to get those possessions. But contested possessions, he's got him. But I have enjoyed his work with the football, basically at 100% efficiency.
Thanks, Jared. We all know how Sydney's season ended last year. There's been a lot of water under the bridge since then. How have you seen the improvement? Kingy down on the boundary?
Well, when you play the Sydney Swans, you've got to compete the contested possessions, and that's at the clearances. 28-25 in favour of the Sydney Swans, 15-7 out of the middle, but what they've been able to do is get it on the scoreboard. 7 goals 3 from clearances is a huge return, considering they kicked 68 points last week. This is their brand. This is what they own. Inside, tight and tough. But now to be putting that on the scoreboard, Gerard, I think this is next level for the Sydney Swans. If they really bounce back and be a premiership contender this year, it's going to be on the back of those Warriors inside.
Yeah, they had to work on their kicking, and so far this season, it's been one of the big improving factors for them.
So the final quarter, here once again is Eddie Maguire.
And away we go with Tippett in the ruck, but Cruiser got the first tap. Gibbs working hard at ground levels, grabbed around the ponytail. Should have got a free kick. And the umpire will have another bounce. But you never thought you'd hear that in the commentary. Anyway, up they go. Second man up was Cripps. Curno's been pretty good today. Twisting and turning, kicks it up towards centre-half forward. It's 2-on-1, and when the extra man is Rampy, you can bet he'll take the mark. He's been a great player today. Pushes in the back. Hanbury will get another one.
Do you like the extra man in defence, Jono?
Well, I think today that Carlton have performed better when they've actually had even numbers in that part of the ground. So at the moment now you've got Rampy the spare, Wiedering was the spare, and there's now Doherty who's pushed up to create an extra number sort of through the midfield at the moment. So look, I'm not a massive fan for Carlton at the moment with it.
What are they trying to do though in this last quarter? Does Brendan Bolton just not want them to get obliterated here, so get one back, play defensive?
Possibly, but look, I think at the end of the day you've still got to play a way that is going to help you succeed in the future.
Well, there it is. The ball goes over the top of the spare man's head.
So Jamieson gets the handball back to Wiedering. Wiedering's kick is a bit overcooked. Gives the opportunity here for Robinson, but the boundary line beats the players, and we'll have a throw in about 65 out, make it 60 out from the Sydney Swans goal. So throw in. Hardly anyone got across to the contest. Cruz got the tap. Jack again. It was fantastic. Hanbury. Wiedering. Tui. Slams the ball out, but coming back. Grundy was great play. And the kick comes in, and Papley was called play on. Just skins it through for a rush behind. In the end there for the Sydney Swans, the first score of this final term.
They've created an outnumber. Most times the ball has hit the ground, Sydney. That's just their pure work rate, their ability to get from contest to contest. And when the senior guys do it, it's the younger guys then that flow on the back of that.
Oh, Simpson's kick is not what he ordered, and here's the man of the moment, Kieran Jack. Going short to Buddy. He'll now go back and have a set shot directly in front, 45 metres out. Distance certainly not a problem.
Just got to keep it together here now, Carlton. They had a really big week last week, not getting the points. They're getting towed up at the present time, but they can't let it just to fall away to nothing in the last.
Quite a day for Buddy today. Just bang. 6 kicks, make that 7. And now it's 3 goals.
He's an amazing footballer, Jono. He doesn't kick the ball, he launches it.
I love watching Buddy play, I really do. Especially when he spends all his time up around where he has this afternoon. Hasn't really gone up into the midfield that often. A couple of times we've seen him burst through centre wing, past the logos, getting a couple of handball receives. But he's done a lot of his work inside forward 50, and he's really keeping their structures really strong, Jared.
Let's take a look at the rocket launcher. Just gets a little bit of centripetal force. Bang. Around the corner. He can launch them, Sandy.
No doubt about that.
5 against 6 inside the Carlton forward 50. 6 against 7 in their back.
Cruiser doing pretty well in the ruck at the moment, getting the tap. Murphy couldn't quite get it out. And we'll have another ball up right in the middle of Etihad Stadium.
Spot on, Ed. They've actually dominated the hit-outs today, Carlton, but they've been sharked. The Swans have actually won more first possessions than Carlton, despite the fact they've won 17 more hit-outs.
Even though they got the tap and the first possession, they still didn't get it out in the end. As Parker kicks a wobbly old torpedo. Hanbury got cleaned up there. That hurt. He might have got more shoulder than head there, but that one stung. In the meantime, the kick goes forward up towards full forward. Sinclair does it beautifully again to Kennedy, open goal. And the Swans are now causing a rout. His second for Kennedy.
Well, it was a good contest from Hanbury. He copped the big knock last week in the head. So I think just goes in here, both going down for the ball. Just an accidental head clash there from Doherty and Hanbury. So 2 in a row now where he's copped the big one last week and just another one there. Good to see he gets back on his feet. Good contest from Sinclair, drops into the goal square, but Sydney players then go over to Hanbury because of that contest, that pure contest to Harvard against Doherty, which kept it alive.
Well, this is not the way Brendan Bolton would like to see the final quarter unfold. A couple of quick goals and Sydney threatening to blow this game apart. Cruiser used the body as well, down looking for Cripps. Gibbs is there. Cripps once again. With his strength, he gets clear. Tumbles a punt up towards Casbolt. Grundy is there with him. Casbolt tries to maintain front spot. Grundy got a fist to it. They're able to get it wide to Lloyd.
Good hands.
Now an opportunity to clear is Laidlaw. And they're out of trouble. Up towards centre wing. They're controlling this ball at the moment and doing it with relative ease. On that occasion, kicking into the man on the mark. But they still get another chance. Jack, who's been busy. Mitchell through. Jack again. Gives a little ground. Ignores Mills, who was screaming for it on centre wing. Goes down the ground. Towers does well. Is this going to be another one? Robinson, short. Tippett will go back and should kick another goal.
Smart kick there by Robinson. Could have blasted away, had a crack from 50, but he saw the big Tippo in the middle, and Tippett gets a crack at goal.
Kennedy coming from the ground. Parker back on. And Tippett now kicking for his second. Got one in the first. Leans back on a drop punt and kicks the goal. Swans firing like a belt-fed mortar at the moment and looking to go on with it.
Yeah, they are. It's a great goal by Sydney. I see Jacob Wiedering was on the bench there, King. He's just come back on defensively. Does he think it's something that they can look to push him forward in this last quarter, see what he can offer down forward for the Blues?
Well, I spoke to Brendan Bolton after the Richmond game, and he said that if it wasn't Wiedering's first game of AFL football, he would have put him forward. He would have cashed in on their inside 50 dominance. They couldn't get a mark inside the forward 50. When they did, it was Levi Casbolt who had trouble converting. I think it's something that Brendan will play with down the track, maybe not in his first month or two of AFL football, but his junior days, he was an elite mark. We know he is an interceptor at the moment, but he can be a goal scorer.
So the Swans out better than 10 goals now, 64 points, and they have dominated. They've kicked the last 6 goals of the game, the last 3 of the third term and the first 3 of this final quarter.
What a contest.
Oh, look at Rampy going back with the ball. It had the dexterity to hit the ball and not hit his opponent, give away the free kick. It's just magnificent stuff. Curnow in his first game gets the handball out, and I think a Logie should be going to Boakhurst.
Possibly a goal.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
He's got a little
smile on his face too.
Yeah, there's Rampy. That was great courage going back with the flight to perform the spoil. And then his energy, he was up around the footy, gave away the free kick to Boakhurst in the end.
Not a lot of positives for the Blues today, Jono, but Charlie Curnow certainly won.
Yeah, he's up for it a little bit, hasn't he? It took him a while to find his way and get himself going in the game, but he's had the 8 disposals. He'd like to get a goal now in his first game, you'd think.
So Boakhurst comes in. Just caresses it right through the middle. Beautiful kick. And the Blues get one back there first since the 8-minute mark of the third quarter.
It's been a drought, but they've been shown how to play footy today by a very experienced side, a very committed side. And there's the handball from Curnow.
Oh, he didn't even touch his head. Nowhere near it.
That is gold-like,
isn't it? Wow, that is hilarious.
So some good acting can pay dividends.
Oh, can it what?
Phillips having a run up against Tippett. And it's Phillips who wins it. Can they take it out of the middle? Gibbs hand pass out in front of Parker. Going with him was Crisp. Going to be locked up by Charlie Curnow.
Here we go. Let's have a look at this acting again. Beautiful play here. Whoa, there he is.
He could have almost ripped his neck, actually. Took it back so far.
Smart play there.
Here goes Sydney again. Mitchell long in towards this dangerous forward line. Papley is lurking. It's pushed away from him by Tui, and one behind is conceded. Tui brings it back into play. Finding Cripps. Around the body he goes to Boakhurst, who's a long way from home. Just gets the hand pass away to Kerridge, who's back on. He kicks up towards the 50. Pushed down in front. Parker is lurking there. He twisted beautifully out of trouble. Gets it across to Mills. Mills gives it away. There's a high tackle. Be a Sydney free kick, and it will be taken by Robinson.
That's why I love Parker, because he's already knows in his mind exactly what he's going to do in a situation, a tight situation. The spin move there was just excellent. Kept his game alive and was able to perform an easy handball.
Wheatering's just stood his ground there and was able to take a steady mark. How have you seen his game, Jono, Wheatering?
Wheatering, he's been solid again. I suppose he's taken a couple of intercept marks. His foot skills actually have been very good when given the opportunity to use it by foot. He's just growing. He's still finding his way, but it's been probably level with what we saw last week as well.
Murphy, White and Simpson were the players to get it up to with a half-forward line where it is at the moment. Now a long bomb in towards Everett. Got a hand to it, but the boundary line is too close and sails over the line. Throw in with some 13.5 minutes in this final term.
It was interesting watching Buddy Franklin just went for a gallop before. It's almost like he wanted to get the GPS up a little bit before he got in after the game. There he is. Fumbles. Yeah, another good tackle. He's been good today, Robinson. Daniel Robinson from Mossman Swans. 21 years of age, just in his 6th game of football. Well, Hewitt gets one high, takes the free kick in his 2nd game of footy. So some young Swans in this all-star lineup. And getting the perfect entree into AFL football with 2 crushing wins in the opening 2 games of the season.
And Ed, the 2nd game for these new boys, and all of them, they acquitted themselves really well the first week. Perhaps you'd expect a letdown. Hasn't been the case today.
No, they've been very, very good. Towers has been another good player. Flick that one up. Simpson gets the handball going. Gibbs back to Simpson. The old campaigners for the Carlton side. I've got to be careful how I say that. Lamb. And he turns it over. And Grundy takes the easy mark at half-back.
You nailed it, Ed.
Grundy to Heaney, who's on centre wing, goes inboard. Hanbury, here they go. Mitchell away from Cruiser, who got him late. Will it be down the ground? No, the umpire calls play on. Parker couldn't take it. Wheatering did well to push it towards Cruiser. He's beaten, however, by the small brigade. Close to the boundary line. Wheatering goes again.
Papley's gone.
Yeah. What's going on there? He
caught one. Keep an eye on him as Cruiser comes away. Gets a favourable bounce. Carlton now could perhaps set something up. You can see Papley caught one in the head, but he appears to be okay. Meantime, we go down towards the forward line, and the mark taken by
Lamb
it is. The former Sydney boy, and of course GWS. And he's going to be kicking from 50 at least. He's given himself a decent old run up here. Taking plenty of time. He just strolls in. Kicking from 50. Well, there's no problem with the distance, but he's away to the right and through from behind. 53 plays 111. Let's see what happened to Tom Papley.
Oh, got
his finger in the eye.
Oh,
yep.
Ow.
But appears hopefully to be okay. And the kick was meant for Lloyd. At the back is Mitchell lending good support. Sydney out of trouble once again. And this was Zach Jones going down towards the half-forward line of Buddy.
Big Buddy out on a long lead. He comes out. He runs inside 50. He has 2 bounces. The Carlton fans are booing him. He has 3 from point blank. Stops on the line. Goalkeeping at its best. Unbelievable stuff.
Well done by Jamison in the end.
Well done by Jamison. Got across. Exciting stuff from Buddy Franklin. Gee, as you say, you just pay your admittance just to watch him run up and down. Murphy's kick inside. Kerridge. So just over 10 minutes left on this game. Lamb. Around the body, high up in the air. Phillips gets edged underneath it by Grundy. Good play.
He's done a really good job again, Grundy.
Yeah, Mills has been a really good player for the Sydney Swans as well.
And
away they go, the Swans. Buddy wants it one out. It's Buddy, one out at full forward. Oh, beautiful play. Dale Thomas wound back the clock. He's had a good day, Daisy. Well done, well fought out. Wiedering. So some good signs in the last few minutes here for the Carlton side, rather. Around the body, Daisy kicks up towards the wing position. But
He's been excellent today, Laidler. Yeah, so good, especially in this second half. He's taken 5 intercept marks, competed well. He set them up numerous times.
Yeah, he's had a good day, hasn't he? Heaney, one grab. Mark not completed, so the Blues through Gibbs and Thomas will get out of trouble. From the outer side, they look towards centre wing over the head of Phillips. That's not what he had in mind, because Grundy takes the mark.
Sydney Swans are one of those teams looking for a couple of goals. We've seen the competition demand that you kick 100 points on average a week to be a premiership contender. Averaged 91 last year. Here they go again to try and get to that.
Zach Jones to Buddy. This time he's got it.
He's been one of the big improvers for the Swans, though. They needed to get some pace. They lost Jetta. But Jones coming into the side and Papley coming into the side have just added a little bit of zip.
Yep.
Particularly Jones off that half-back line. And that's exactly what they have needed to find. Somebody who can run the lines and hit a target like we're about to see unfold in the little box.
3 goals, 3 to his credit so far today. Buddy Franklin make that 4 goals, 3. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in this final term for Buddy, following on his 4 in the opening round last week.
Well, when you look defensively, you've got Mills and Jones who are trying to provide that run, the younger players through there. So whether they can hold up for an entire year, they will be exposed at times. This is our view, actually, from commentator Cam, and what you can see with Buddy Franklin doing some work, getting some work off the ball. But defensively, they've got McVeigh to come back into that role, Jared, which you've highlighted. And I think with McVeigh back there, then Rampy can provide a little bit more run as well with that experience. I think it's setting up really nicely for Sydney back there at the moment. There's the day for Buddy Franklin, 17 disposals. He's got his 4 goals on the board again, 7 shots at goal.
And a big smile on his face, and the Swans have averaged 118 points here at Etihad in their last 8 wins, consecutive wins. They're 118 and about to make it 9. So it's a happy hunting ground for the Swans here at Etihad. Mark taken by Bokhorst. Trying to do something, trying to create and break the lines. Good play up towards full forward, and Sinclair, well, he's all about to go. He's done everything else today.
He had the Carlton players forward anyway.
Mills again. Oh, kick that time wasn't so good. Rowe. He came in for Walker, who missed with a calf injury. Beautiful kick from Zach Tui out to Ed Curnow. And Cripps has it at 55. So Cripps looks up.
Good lead.
Good lead, good kick. And Casbolt will go back and line up. He kicked the first goal of the game at the 2 minutes and 20-second mark of the opening term. And this is his next best chance to kick a goal.
Haven't been opened up any times today, the Swans' defence.
No.
For various reasons. Maybe the fact that there's only 7 minutes left on the clock. They were a little bit distracted, and down she went.
So Levi Casbolt has kicked 2 goals, 1 from this position on all grounds in the AFL. Jared Healy gave him some work on how to kick before the game, and he's listened to it. He's kicked 2 straight, if you don't mind, Jared.
I like a bloke who can embellish a story, Ed, but his problem today hasn't been his goal kicking. It's just that he hasn't got it enough.
He hasn't got it enough because Sydney have dominated this game, and they're starting to dominate here at Etihad Stadium as well. 8 wins in 8 matches, average, as you said, at 118-4, but keeping the opposition here to 73 against, and Buddy's last 8 at Etihad, 35. He loves it here as well as the MCG, Buddy Franklin.
33,146 here today to see Sydney on the verge of recording a somewhat emphatic victory against Carlton.
It's another good crowd, a healthy crowd.
Yep.
Sandy, and the crowds have just been brilliant right around the country.
Yeah.
In Canberra today, great turnout to see the Giants cause a big upset.
Well, people are seeing football they want to see, and they're enjoying it.
Spot on.
And that's really good news. Tippett over the top. Parker had it for a moment. Rowe could have almost given away the free kick against Mitchell. Still allowing play to go on. They've got an opportunity now through Jack, wobbling it down towards Buddy and co. Tui in his 100th game gets it out to Ed Curnow, who goes with a high ball, helicopter-wise, back towards the half-back line. The race is on now. Everett lays a good tackle on Nick Smith. He got boot to ball. Was okay. Kennedy, an underground hand pass. They're threatening again. Hanbury, Tippett. He runs into a brick wall in the form of Cripps. Still an opportunity. Papley taken off it. Here plays a good tackle. Excellent tackle from Papley, and he goes again. He gets it out. Does really well to Towers. He snaps a goal, but he's away to the left and one behind. Great second effort by Papley.
It was, but they're the ones that Towers needs to nail. He's there for a reason. He's got to compete like he did. He's had 12 disposals today, a lot uncontested. He needs to nail those opportunities for himself so he can secure his spot in this lineup.
So Tui just lobs it out to Doherty. He's keen to get the 1-2 going and should have, because Doherty's just kicked it straight a bounce on the full.
Yeah, it's really disappointing that skill errors like that just should not occur at this level.
So Mitchell has it 55 out. He was fantastic early, Tommy Mitchell. And again, he just goes the 15 to Tippett, and Tippett will line up from right on the 50-metre line.
Well, it's not too dissimilar a spot to the last time he had a shot at goal, and he's had over the years, according to some, problems kicking goals, but he's up around the 65% from this zone on the ground, which is pretty healthy.
Well, Sinclair's kicked 3 goals as the ruckman forward, changing with this bloke, Kurt Tippett, who's about to kick his 3rd goal. And if you get 6 from your ruckman, you're doing pretty well, and that's exactly what they've got.
Yeah, I remember a time where there was a lot of focus on his goal kicking. He was, of course, in a previous life, the #1 target for the Adelaide Crows, but, gee, he's got a really relaxed style, and it's paying a lot of dividends.
Yeah, his prelim for Adelaide was super. That's what really set his career alight, was that one, and he was very good up forward in that game, and he continues to have a good mix now of forward ruck. Him and Sinclair are really combining well over the first couple of weeks.
Let's have a look at the ranking points, and Mitchell and Hanbury leading the way. But Sinclair has had a wonderful day. Parker busy again, and great to see Daisy Thomas back. Sydney have got their crosstown rivals next week, followed by Adelaide and the Eagles. Carlton have got the Suns, the Dogs and Freo. So a tough 3 weeks for them.
Yeah, another ripping weekend of football coming up next weekend, round 3, some absolute belters.
Thomas in hard. Kennedy, always tough. Tries to get it out. Hanbury, a ripping tackle, locks it up.
It's going to be a cracking match, GWS versus Sydney.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about rotations and the 90 cap. Lance Franklin has just made his way to the bench for the first time today.
There you go.
Here's Tui. Suddenly he's inside 50, gave it off to Boakhurst. First one way, then the other, then tried to go back the other way. Eventually gets it away. The snapper shot at goal by Charlie Curnow. He gets the goal. Welcome to the big time.
He's going to be a really good pickup. His numbers in the juniors suggest that he's going to be a high-quality player for a long time. Generally, Jono, what they do in the juniors, they do in the seniors. Very few can reinvent themselves as they get older, unless they grow exponentially.
Yep. Nah, good on him. We spoke about he needed a goal just for his reward for his first game up. He's got that on board now, which is excellent. See there hugging Jacob Wiedering, who has pushed forward as well.
Yeah, that's
here, which we can see. There you go. The 2 main picks from last year's draft sitting at full forward next to each other. So see if they can get another one on the board with 4 minutes to play.
So can they get it inside 10 goals, the Blues? That's really the target. And Kerridge tries to break through and gets another ball up here.
And the other Carlton forwards have pushed up a little bit as well, just leaving Curnow and Wiedering to do some work inside 50 one-on-one.
It's that old-fashioned barrier, isn't it? A 10-goal win.
Yep.
Try and get inside. It's something here in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of this game. So the Blues, as we said, they've got a pretty hard run. Gold Coast, Western Bulldogs at Fremantle and Essendon. As they start to rebuild this club, famous club, been in the doldrums for the best part of a decade, a couple of cameos along the way. And this bloke has just been absolutely magnificent. So Kieran Jack, the captain of the Sydney Swans. Off one step, just kicks it to the forward pocket. Off hands, Hanbury again. Curnow, it's his brother Ed, the big brother. Umpire says, throw it in. And Daniel Hanbury,
he's had enough.
I was going to say, he might want to come for a spell. He's done as much as he needs to today. 29 disposals at 93% efficiency. Tackles, you name it, he's been in it.
Just having a look at this midfield of the Swans, Ed, I still think we sell it short. At 76 inside 50s they supplied last weekend against Collingwood, and they're on to 68 this weekend. They only hit the 70 mark 10 times in their history, Sydney. So to go back-to-back just shows the sort of form this midfield's in.
Cripps to Curnow to Gibbs to Casbolt. Tries to draw his opponent. Gets the handball off to Ed Curnow. To his brother, the Curnows are waxing. Long kick forward's a beauty too. And Everett presents and takes the mark.
And King, I think that's the pleasing thing as well, because what they've been able to do is restrict Carlton to 41. So getting high numbers themselves with entries, but then restricting the opposition, which is what, you know, today's game's about.
Hard to do here at Etihad as well, to be able to clamp a team like they have today. Been saying that, Carlton, they'll get over the 70-point mark here against a genuine contender. It's a pretty good effort.
Yep. So 5 becomes 6 from that position on the ground for Andres Everett. He gets his first.
No, he's very happy. Holding the cup up, held the Sharon as well. So he's very, very happy.
Well, you've got to get it in to be able to score. I think this is going to be the big lesson for Carlton. They've got scoring power down there, but they've got to get it in. And the quicker you get it in, the more opportunities you may get. Everett one out, or Casbolt one out. Maybe it's going to be Wiedering or Curnow. Who knows? But you're going nowhere if you take the ball inside forward 50 just 40-odd occasions. Now, that is good. That is really good skills.
Yeah.
Not one drop of spill.
Oh, dear.
What? How many champion data points do you get for that, John?
Cruiser wins it.
30 straight up.
They're not going to take it out of the middle because there's a free kick going the way of Sydney to be taken by Georgie Hewitt. Well, a little untidy. Now a chance for Graham. Gives it away, and they're out to Murphy.
George Hewitt.
Players running through. One of them's Gibbs. Gibbs goes inside 50 once again, trying to finish with a flurry of goals. Hewitt again. Wider. Kennedy's still running, but he leaves this one. It goes out the back. Kennedy's running on down. He wanted it. Now he applies the tackle, and it was a beauty too. It goes wide. Still an opportunity for Tui. Bends it round, hugging the boundary line. Rampy comes over the top, and I reckon he's taken the mark while he was claiming it.
He did well. He left one man. He pushed up, read it brilliantly.
And now they've got it towards the half-back line. Cunningham applies a good tackle. That was on Graham. Casbolt's kick inside 50. And a free kick, I think, will go the way of Sydney. It will. Just taken again by Hewitt.
Just that last kick of Zach Jones. Jono, they're the ones he's got to probably tidy up on against better opposition.
Yeah, that goes straight over the goal umpire's hat with quality opposition.
Luke Parker on centre wing. Another good day for him. Following his 40 disposals last week. He's up to almost 30.
He's been a powerhouse, this fellow.
Yeah, he has. Done really well. Already he's got 3 goals, 2 of those in this last quarter. So we're in the final rights of this game. In front of over 33,000 fans. Kurt Tippett looking for goal number 4. And 305 in his career. Kicking from 55. It's a big bomb, and it's there. What a way to finish, right on the siren for Kurt Tippett. A big message there to every other club The big men of Sydney are back. Tippett finishing with 4, Franklin with 4, and the Swans are pretty happy.
So they should be, Sandy. Fantastic win, midfield dominance today. Once again, 2 games in a row, their midfielders has excelled and produced a strong effort. They were hard at the contest. They closed Carlton's key mids down, including Patrick Cripps, we see on screen there. Didn't have a huge influence on today's game with just the 18 disposals.
Let's go down to the boundary line. Buddy Franklin, 4 goals today, and set to have a chat with David King. As I said, 4 goals to him and 4 goals to Kirk Tippett, and 3 to Callum Sinclair, who had a wonderful game. Kingy?
Yeah, down here with Lance, we're just saying life's good in the Sydney forward line at the moment, isn't it? You're kicking some big scores.
Here we are. Last week we kicked a lot of behind, so our focus this week was to kick straight, and we're able to, we kick 11 behind, so that's a better return than last week. And we came down here, got the victory, and we go home. Play GWS next week, which is going to be a tough game at home.
Midfield's in really good form, giving you lots of supply.
Yeah, definitely. It does help when the midfield's on top in the middle, and we're all playing really good football at the moment, so life's good.
Another 4 goals today. You took off from about 60 out and hugged the boundary line and nearly went all the way. They employed a goalkeeper on the line. What happened there?
I know, Jamo touched it in the square. It was a bloody good save, though, wasn't it?
It was annoying. We love to see the highlights you're providing. The Sydney Swans look to improve. You look like you're wanting to score more. You look like you're playing with more flair, a bit quicker through the midfield. Has that been a focus in the off-season?
Oh, not really. It's pretty much just win the contested ball for us. That's where it really starts our game, and we're able to get our hands on the ball and use it cleanly and then get it to our forwards, and yeah, we're able to keep a really good score. But our main focus is winning the contested ball and then breaking from there and playing good footy.
A little bit of rivalry. You play the crosstown mob, the GWS Giants, next week. Any feeling there in the past, or is it just another game for you?
Yeah, it's just another game for us. They're playing some really good football. I don't know whether they won today or not, but they won. So yeah, they're a quality outfit, and we're going to have to play 4 quarters to get over the line against them, but we look forward to the challenge.
Really enjoying your work, mate. Keep it up.
Thanks, mate.
A threatening start to the season by Sydney. In round 1, they defeated Collingwood by 80 points. They've sent Carlton packing to the tune of 60 points, and they can only get better. So a good start to the season by the Sydney Swans. Carlton were brave in the first half, but power and talent told in the second, and Sydney were able to cruise away to that emphatic win of 60 points.